And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you are watching ABL Live. I thank you for joining. You could be anywhere in the whole wide world, but you're right here with me, and I definitely appreciate you for that. There's a whole lot going on all over the internets, all over media, all over everywhere. A really big thing, real popular thing right now is this whole Revolt Summit. People are talking about what Candace Owens could have done, what anybody else could have done, who should have been there, who shouldn't have been there. It was a lot to that whole thing. We'll probably talk about that from some of you guys calling in tonight. Also, I'm glad they finally got that guy, Ed Buck, on something. This man wound up with 2 dead bodies in his house. No arrest, no real probe or investigation, no nothing. You know, it's okay to have methamphetamine and shoot people up in your house. How is that possible? Isn't that called a trap house, a drug house, a crack house, something? It's got to be some kind of label to that. We'll talk about that also. What else do we have here? We have the whole thing with the New York Times, Brett Kavanaugh, that whole fake story. Why would you publish a piece like that is missing key information, talking about, oh, well, this person was assaulted. Meanwhile, you go to the person themselves, they say they don't remember it at all. Shouldn't you put that piece where they say they don't remember it at all in your actual story? And the climate change protests, what is the purpose of that? How is that going to help solve anything? We'll talk about all that and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And I appreciate you guys for joining 100%. Please like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. And if you are not subscribed yet, please do so. I'd appreciate it if you did. Shout out to all you guys coming from all over the world. Shout out to G. Nolan coming from Medellin, Colombia. Says ABL, True American Patriot. Hey, thank you for that. I'm trying to do my best. Shout out to you coming from Colombia. I appreciate it, Vince Dunn, Peter McGuire. Jessica Smith said Ed Buck had a drug/slaughterhouse since he was hiding bodies in his home. Sick. Yeah, I mean, this guy, when you're talking about what could be considered a serial killer, you got 2 dead bodies in the course of a year or less, like not even 2 years, right around a year, no more than 2 years. And there's no real red flag. And everybody knows what he was doing. He was taking people off the street, people that were homeless and were drug addicts, you know, really vulnerable people, and injecting them with drugs. And then he was acting out his sexual fantasies on them. I mean, he's a clear sexual predator, but there was never any kind of investigation launched. Now, let's not forget, this guy, Ed Buck, was a big-time Democrat donor, well, is a big-time Democratic donor, was friends with, wait for it, Hillary Clinton, Ted Lieu, Adam Schiff? Is that his name? Peter or Adam Schiff? And who else? You got Ted Lieu, Peter Schiff, Hillary Clinton, the whole squad. Okay, probably some more big wig California people or people in government as well that he was giving money to. He donated the maximum amount to Ted Lieu, and then Ted Lieu, quote unquote, donated the money after the second attack. My question would be, okay, why didn't you give it back after the first attack? Why didn't you denounce him after the first attack? I mean, you have a man dead in his house due to being injected with drugs. And the guy, Jamel Moore, rest in peace, he wrote about how Ed Buck would shoot him up with drugs. He wrote that like it was documented. He said that's what happened. His cause of death was that. So, I mean, just put 2 and 2 together. Why did it take for 2 dead bodies for you to act? Why not on the first one? And then beyond the dead bodies, why not just look at what he does in general and make a, you know, do something based on that? You know, what's really going on? Yeah, Adam Schiff, there you go. So, yeah, he's not just a murderer. He's also a creep, 1,000%. So, and, you know, the crazy part about it is that he's only facing like 5 years. They're not talking about murder or manslaughter. They're talking about, I think maybe battery. Like, that's probably the most serious crime, running a drug house, but not the drugs themselves. I don't understand. How can you shoot somebody out with methamphetamine to the point where they almost die, shoot two others up with it and they pass away and you don't get a drug charge, I don't understand. That should be a case right there. But hey, when you're a liberal politician in California, you got money, you pretty much do whatever you want to do. And that's just kind of how that goes. All right. So, hey, I saw that about Justin Trudeau got caught in brownface. Now, here's $1 million question for me. Just because I'm curious, I just want to know, what exactly is brownface? It's just blackface. I mean, if I can pull it up right quick, I will. Hold on one second. Because I have the story. I saw it just a little while ago. Matter of fact, let me see if I can do this here. Okay. So that's Trudeau right there. Hold on, let me see if it'll just go to it. I don't got time for this music. Okay. So that's him right there. As you can see, the very dark-skinned person. Now, is this a black and white photo? Yes. But, I mean, it looks pretty black to me. He got his hands and everything done. And he's with a whole squad of women. So, like, what's going on here, sir? How are you really going to... No, the bigger question would be, how are the media going to spin this? Let's look at the headline right quick. This is on time.com. It says, Justin Trudeau wore brownface at 2001 Arabian Nights party while he taught at private school, Canada's Liberal Party admits. All right. So they've admitted it. He's not doing what's that man's name? Ralph Northam talking about, oh, that's not me. He's not doing the whole Ralph Northam thing of confirm then deny. They are coming out and saying, yes, that's him. Now, as a side note, I'm not surprised, not because I think Trudeau is like, I don't think Trudeau is a good person, really, but that's aside from the point. The point is that he always plays dress up. This ain't nothing new for him. I've seen him wear all types of different countries' costumes. I've just not seen him go to that next level and put on not only the black face paint and neck paint, or it could be some kind of turtleneck or something right there, but he also has on the stuff on his hands too. Like, how you get your hands to be like that? Did you go to some kind of professional makeup artist to do that? What's really going on? But I want to see them explain this away, because people like Justin Trudeau and others that support him would say, oh, Trump, orange man, bad, racist, is that, and the third. But yet here you are with, your so-called brown face on. What's really going on with that? I want to see the explanation. They may try to like push it under the rug. I like it's not really there, but I see it. I'm looking dead at it right here. So I'm not really trying to hear any kind of excuse. Justin Trudeau, you got some explaining to do. I'm not offended, really. Like, I'm not gonna go to the corner and cry. I just love the hypocrisy. Do as I say, not as I do. Ain't that right? Anytime I see somebody with brown face, black face, whatever they want to call it, is always somebody on the left. Every single Ralph Northam, Mark Herring, the Virginia Attorney General, and now Justin Trudeau. I wonder how Fidel thinks about this, but I digress. My point is that this is going to be interesting to see the media try to explain away, but we'll move right along. Shout out to Justin Trudeau for the blackface. I want to see how this is going to play out. Now, let me see if I can read a little bit more about this. Okay, so he was wearing the makeup at a party at the private school he was teaching. So he was a teacher at the school. There's some kind of teacher gathering he was at. Okay, and he was 29-year-old. So he's not, he was not like 16, 15, or like a kid or something. He's 29 years old. So he knows fully well what's going on. And it was in 2001. So it was not like, in the 80s or the 70s or the 60s. Nah, this is more recently when you look at it in context. He's not an old man. Okay. So, hey, I want to see it. I want to see the reaction. But, speaking about the media and their reaction, what's going on with this whole New York Times Brett Kavanaugh situation? All right, what's really happening with that? You're putting out a story that's just not even, it's not necessarily that the story is fake, which it is. It's not just that. It's the fact that you omitted information intentionally to make it appear to be a thing that it was not. And the book that people that wrote the article are trying to promote, they said that the victim had no knowledge of the situation. It did not remember, it did not recall, and it didn't want to be talked to. So apparently there is no real victim. There is no allegation. What you have is somebody saying they saw something, some kind of third-hand account with no first-hand account from the actual person who is alive today. They are alive, they are around, they can speak for themselves, and they say, I don't remember. I don't want to talk about it. How about that? And then the person who said that they saw it is this big time Democrat lawyer, donor, friend to the Clintons. What's up with all these donors and friends to the Clintons and everything else on the left that engage in this kind of foolishness? What is really going on? Matter of fact, hold on. Let's pull this up. Okay, Kavanaugh's accuser. That's what he is. It's not the woman. It's him that says he saw it, although nobody has been able to corroborate that. Anyway, Kavanaugh's accuser, Max Stier, is former Clinton lawyer, Obama donor, big time swamp guy. Okay, let's read a little bit more. In '94, Kavanaugh joined a legal team led by Candace Owens that was looking into President Bill Clinton's real estate dealings as part of the Whitewater investigation. Later that decade, Kavanaugh co-wrote the Starr Report, which established broad grounds for Clinton's impeachment. Okay, those proceedings pitted Kavanaugh against a former Yale classmate, Max Stier, 87, a fellow member of Stiles College, who was one of several attorneys representing Bill Clinton during the investigation. So they got a history with each other, okay? This guy, Max Stier, does not like Brett Kavanaugh, and it goes all the way back, probably to college. And it intensified, in my humble opinion, with the whole Clinton kerfuffle. He was on one side, Kavanaugh was technically on the other side, and here we are in 2019, this guy still being a thorn in his hind parts, talking about, I saw him do X, Y, and Z. I can't tell. I can not tell. It does not appear to be that way to me. All right. So what's really going on? Just people in the swamp doing what they do as always. And I knew from the beginning that this whole thing was fake. I knew it from the jump. I knew that it was not real. Like, as soon as I saw new, quote unquote, new allegation from, a Brett Kavanaugh accuser, I'm like, okay, we've already gone through this. Let's stop. Because think about it. Why would it not have come out last year when it was really like red hot? Everybody was coming out. Everybody and their mama was coming out. Now, all of a sudden, here we go again. Come on. And then there was another accusation that was the same exact one as this one. Now, what are the chances that the accusation will be the exact same? Like, I'm talking about to the T. And the way that it was done, it was not like really vague in the way it was described. They're talking about it was a party, his pants came down, and his, twig and berries just kind of went swinging and hit somebody in the face. You understand? That was the same story from last year from a different person altogether at a different party. But it's like, what are the chances of that really happening? There was no corroboration there. The FBI knew about the other story last year. They did not investigate. They probably knew it was phony. And here we are yet again with another phony story. The story is so phony that you got even CNN saying that New York Times dropped the ball. Even CNN. Now, you know you didn't really messed up when CNN says you messed up when you're on the left. I mean, that's pretty pathetic, honestly. But you know what? The New York Times, they're just trying to get money. They're just trying to eat. They're just trying to get money because they're a subscription-based service. So how are they really going to continue to draw in revenue if they can't, drum up fake stuff like this?
There was a third incident that you...
Hold on. Matter of fact, let me see if I can skip ahead here. Because CNN, I guess they had the women on, Kate Kelly and somebody else. Robin Pogrebin, I think that's her name. Here's the thing. That's them right here, right on the screen. And this is on CNN. New York Times botched Kavanaugh story, the latest in series of blunders from opinion section. Okay, CNN saying blunders. That's bad because CNN, they're known for some quote unquote blunders, which are not really blunders, but that's a whole different story. So yeah, it's pretty pathetic. But hey, that's where we are right now in 2019. Even the lowest of the low are pointing their finger, and rightfully so, at another person or company that has gone even lower than they have. This is terrible. And they had them on, I don't know what they were talking about. What are you really going to say? oh, sorry, we didn't put the most relevant information in the article that would give you context on the whole situation. If somebody were to accuse somebody of doing something to somebody, and that somebody that is the alleged victim says, nah, shouldn't that be really at the top of the article? Matter of fact, why would you even publish that? The person does not want to be known. They don't want to talk about it. They don't remember it happening. Why would you even publish that? You know, it's the same thing going on right now with Corey Lewandowski. You know, they're trying to bring him and testify and trying to smear his name, talking about, well, you the hit man, all this and that. They're just trying to get something on him. So then when he tries to become a senator or whatever he's trying to do, I think in New Hampshire, whenever he does that, they'll just use what he said in the testimony against him. And so kind of, you know, attack campaign ad against him. It's real simple. Oh, the news is terrible. The news used to be much more reliable. Used to be really good. Used to really depend on it. But now it's just not the case. Not at all. And hey, it is what it is. I'm not even really upset. I'm not upset at the media. I am, but I'm not at the same time. And the reason why I'm not totally upset is because I know they're dying. They're dying, and once they die, it's over. They're not going to come back anymore. So they can keep on doing what they're doing. That's okay. All we're going to do as regular American citizens is just keep on going the opposite direction and do things that way. You know, we're not so much concerned about what they have going on. We're going to do things where we're going to do it. And that's just kind of how it's going to be. But what else? Oh, the climate change protests. Now, what is going on with that? I've seen this young lady, what's her name? Greta Thunberg. I can't remember how to say her name. But she's 16 years old from Sweden. Now, apparently, she is like the poster child for climate change. I said in my video earlier, you know, they may be trying to go younger because people like Al Gore being the face ain't going to last too much longer. Al Gore got to be in the 70s. He's looking kind of old in the tooth at this particular point in time. So, I mean, it's only a matter of time before they pretty much phase him out. He's 71 years old. Get somebody in there that's kind of young and got a little bit of energy and have that be that. I mean, because really the girl Greta is not really saying a whole lot, not much more than anybody else, but because she has the media behind her and she's young, people like Barack Obama meeting with her, that gives her a level of importance, a level of clout to the public, so they take her seriously. And then you're able to indoctrinate the youth with this whole thing. They're going to see her, be like, oh, she's my age, she's that and the third. So, hey, if she's on TV talking to Obama, talking to all these important people, to all these adults, she must be telling the truth. I'm going to listen to her. And then they get told the same thing in their school from their teachers and maybe even their parents. And they grow up thinking that we're going to die in a year unless I give all the money in my pocket to Al Gore or Greta Thunberg or whoever else wants the money to somehow fix the planet's climate. It's absurd, but that's where we are right now in 2019. It is what it is. But thank y'all for being here. Definitely appreciate you. Please like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Oh yeah, Roe v. Wade. Yeah, then the person, Kentucky Mama, the person that was actually Roe and Roe v. Wade has come out since then and spoke against it. I think she might have passed away. I'm not really quite sure about that, but I did see her speak against it. So, you know, the thing about Planned Parenthood and these places, they're trying to push abortion on you. They're trying to scare a person into actually having an abortion. Okay. Yeah, she did pass away, 2017. Her name was Norma McCorvey. And rest in peace to her. But she was staunchly against abortion when she passed away, and quite a while before then. You know, people, when they're young, they have fears, they have insecurities, and they may want to come out and say, I don't want to have the baby. I might not be able to raise it, this, that, and the third. But I know plenty of people that have children that they had when they were teenagers, 15, 16, 14. You know, I know people that have done that, and the kids grow up and they're fine. You know, I think the main thing is just being able to have a solid household with some parents in it that know how to raise the kids. You want to be able to be of age when you have a child, of course, but at a certain point, you also want to let the child be born, to give the child a chance. You know, sometimes the child might not necessarily be in the perfect situation, but you want to be able to give them a chance to live. It's just simple as that. 100%. Rita Darty said, I always thought Al Gore, when I said his name fast, sounded like some sort of pesticide you can see on the store shelves. Pretty much, I wouldn't be too surprised if I saw something called Al Gore in Home Depot that killed carpenter bees or something like that. There it is. Hey, that's how it is. My parents were married when my mom was 18 years old. Okay, so I don't really want to hear this whole thing. Hey, give kids a chance to live. That's all you got to do. Give kids a chance. Jericho Green, my man. Hey, Jericho Green, I'm glad you in the chat. You're perfect. I want to talk to you, man. People are hitting me up. They're saying, hey, man, if you can recommend somebody to talk to on YouTube or for this or for that, I'm like, hey, Jericho Green, you're one of those names I mention all the time. People want to get in contact with you, man, but I don't know what to tell them. So go to my website, go to my email, something. Email me, please, man. I got things that are waiting on you. Contact me, man. We can get something going. Matter of fact, my email, I can't put it in the chat because it won't let me, but it's contact@anthonyblogan.com, and my website's in the description. So everything you need to contact me is right there on the contact page. So shout out to my man Jericho Green, great YouTuber. Glad you're here, man. BDB says, I got married and had my son at age 19. Hey, there it is. It's all good. There was a point in time when people got married earlier, when they were like, coming out of high school and stuff like that, and the kids were raised up fine. They're raised up perfectly fine. So it is what it is. Yes, indeed. What else we got going on? Did I cover everything? I think I did. Oh, the climate change protests. Now, you're going to have kids be allowed to skip school for this? I don't understand. So is it going to be a holiday? If everybody can skip school for this, then why have kids go to school at all? Just say that Friday will be an off day. But then again, everybody might not skip. So I don't know how that's going to work. Are the parents going to really be feeling this? Because at a certain point, parents want to send their kids to school knowing that they're not going to be outside doing different things, kind of in a place that's not necessarily secure and safe. You know what I mean? Especially in New York City. Where are you really going to go? Are you going to be on the streets with a picket sign in danger? What if you got Antifa coming through and, trying to fight people for no reason, high on drugs? Yeah, I would say if I had any kids, I'd be like, hey, y'all not going to the climate change protest. Keep them hind parts in school. And I'm going to be watching the stream. So if I see you out there, it's a wrap when you come home. That'd be pretty much how I do it. Alrighty, let me see. Yeah, Stella, you're right about that. That Roe and Roe v. Wade lied about being raped. That's correct. And shout out to Tara C, who says had her son at 19. He's 14 now and watches ABL. Hey, I love it. Fantastic. I like how the whole family can come and watch. I really like that a lot. 100%. Yeah, they see my mother and my aunt and all of them. They think, it's my sister or something like that because they were young. My aunt's like 9 years younger than my mom, and then they look a lot alike. We all look the same. When you see us, we all look the exact same. It just everybody looks real young because they are young. But you can also have kids when you get older as well, but it shouldn't be shame. People shouldn't be shamed for having kids when they're young. People shouldn't be shamed for allowing a child to live. I think the best thing would be 2-parent house and all that. That's great. But if a child is coming, let the child live, because you can improve your life later if it's not where you want it to be right now. Did I see Trump sign his wall? I did not see that. I did not see that. But yeah, I'm going to check that out as soon as I can. Wow. Cantankerous Housewife says, you're on our homeschool schedule for current events. I love it. I love it. Thank you for that. That means a lot to me. Jay Wilder says, hey, ABL, did you notice since Omar was exposed, you don't hear from the squad knowing she's in trouble? That's a very good point. I've not heard a whole lot of moving and shaking from them. I saw them once at the, NAACP conference, but I've not heard about them a lot. They've been making a lot less noise. And she's definitely in trouble. Ain't no question, because It's a lot of different things going on from a moral point of view. Are you married to your brother, your husband? What's going on? And she deleted a tweet that had her father's name in it, and that name was also the same name that her quote unquote husband used as the name of his father, something like that. Some kind of Jerry Springer type stuff going on. And then she was trying to say, oh, well, her name Noor Saeed means blessed light. And that's a nickname that my father had for a long time. It's like, okay, if that's his nickname, then why was it on a legal document, the marriage license that you have with your brother, somebody? Why would you put a nickname on a legal document? You see what I'm saying? So she's just digging herself deeper and deeper, and I love it. I think Ilhan Omar has the potential to pretty much be a bomb that'll go off, no pun intended, in the squad to just break it on up. Tear down Planned Parenthood. That's right, B. Neil. 100%. Absolutely. Smoking Gun says, has Greta ever recycled anything with her own hands and the time for it? I doubt it. I heard Greta Thunberg, the young lady that's the climate change, she's like the new Al Gore, basically the new and improved younger Al Gore, with the correct gender, which is female. But anyway, I heard she took a boat. She took a boat from Sweden to the United States. Is that true? I mean, I guess the reasoning was she didn't want to get on a plane. But I wonder how much carbon emission a boat has, how much pollution the boat has, especially to build them. I mean, I've been to the shipyards. I've seen shipbuilding. I mean, that can't be a super clean process, man. I mean, really, you right there in the water building the ship. There's all kind of grease and oil and everything else. I mean, I'm not really sure how clean that is. And all the materials they're using, what kind of process you got to go through to mine all the materials, and then the waste that's on there. I mean, I'm not really sure. I guess it could be better than a plane, but is it really that much? I don't know. I guess it depends on the kind of boat you got. Maybe you got one of them little dinghies that the refugees be on, but you can't float that across the Atlantic Ocean or the Pacific, or definitely not in the Arctic. You mess around and be sunk somewhere and freezing to death within the 5 minutes. So I don't know how that really works. A solar powered ship, is that right? Wow. I'm not sure how you can have a solar powered ship, like a proper ship that can actually have enough power to, move around, and how long that would take if it was like, green energy compliant. The Rapper 10,000 heard that some Somalis have raped women in Minnesota. No outrage. Hey man, there's certain things you can't talk about for some reason. Oh, corn pop. Hey, I heard about the whole corn pop situation. Now, corn pop, I think I believe that story, honestly. I think I believe it, but it was just really weird that he said that at that particular point in time. It was really strange. I don't understand why he would talk about that story like right now. I don't really get it. Yeah, that was really, really strange. I should be getting the call pretty soon here, so if my callers want to go, I have one particular call that's scheduled for right now. So if they want to go ahead and hit me up, that'd be good. I'll be waiting on them. I'll take the regular calls a little bit later. But shout out to all you guys who are in here right now. If you have not liked the video yet, please do so. And also subscribe if not subscribed already. And also share the video. That'll help me out tremendously. And a quick announcement, I won't be here doing the show on Saturday. Maybe I might do the show Saturday. It's kind of up in the air as I'll be traveling. But it's kind of up in the air. But I'll definitely be doing the show next Wednesday and next Saturday as normal. And of course, I'll be traveling a lot coming up here pretty soon. I got a lot of things going on. Hold on. What's going on in my situation here? All right. Let me see. Do I have everything? There we go. All righty. Tom, what's going on?
Not too bad, man. How are you?
Everything's great. Everything is great. Okay, your camera's actually sideways.
Oh.
There we go. Perfect.
All right. Fix that. Is that better?
Oh, that's better. It's better. So, tell everybody who you are and where you're coming from today.
Absolutely. Well, my name is Tom Chatelet. I'm with the American Priority Conference and Festival. I'm actually broadcasting live from Miami at the moment. We're here until after the event is over. We're throwing a party, essentially a 3-day event, a conference and festival in Miami at Trump National Doral, October 10th through October 10th to the 12th. And it's going to be a blast. Obviously, you're going to be there.
Yes.
When we were going over people for media folks we wanted to invite, your name came up, and your work is so good, and you're so personable and smart, and the way you analyze things, we were like, hey, let's definitely reach out to this guy. Let's definitely get him involved. So I'm very happy that you'll be there. But as far as the event itself is concerned, we have 3 days of amazing things happening. Thursday the 10th, we're opening with a shotgun golf tournament. Then we're following that up with a luncheon. We have a pool party that's being hosted by Ricky Rebel, and Simona Papadopoulos also will be debuting some of her new swimsuit line there as well. And then we are following that up with an entertainment night featuring acts like Terrence Williams, Evan Sayet. We have a mystery performer that we can't announce yet. The Deplorable Choir will be there. And then that night we're finishing with a amazing Sinatra set by the American acting legend and musician Robert Davi. He'll be performing a Sinatra set on that Thursday. That's just one day. That's just the first day of the event.
Wow.
The second day we're opening with a whole host of keynote speakers. Very a lot names that everyone mostly knows. Dinesh D'Souza, Charlie Kirk. Donald Trump Jr. will be speaking at 5. James O'Keefe. The list goes on and on. Dana Lash. Just check out the website, AmericanPriority.com, and you can get the details for the event, for the speakers, the times, and you can see who's going to be there. It's just insane. Not only that, but we're having panels and breakout sessions on topics that folks, not just conservative or liberal, really want to talk about, like internet censorship in general, social media, the power of social media. Obviously, there's topics that folks have talked a lot about: immigration, criminal justice reform, a whole host of things. But check it out. Check out the website AmericanPriority.com for more details specifically on the breakdown and times of those events. On Saturday, there's so many things, and it's been a crazy day.
Yeah,
but
it's a whole lot going on. I could tell.
I know. On Friday, we're finishing out the night with Dennis Prager and Adam Carolla came out with a film called No Safe Spaces. If you went to CPAC, you've seen a version of it. If you went to Freedom Fest, you might have seen a version of it. This version that they're screening at our conference is the last version before theatrical release. So it'll be the last time anybody can see it before the movie goes out. And they've added a whole bunch of things. They've changed a lot of things because at each festival or each event, they've taken feedback on the film and incorporated it going forward. So people at our event will be able to see the last iteration before it goes public. So that's awesome. While that's happening, also we have a VIP yacht party. So VIP ticket holders, including lots of the speakers and the VIP guests, will be shuttled to a yacht at an undisclosed location, and we will be having a party essentially there. So that's something that you guys can be a part of as well. We'll have to talk about that, Anthony, too. I think you should probably be there either way and make sure that you can cover that for the folks.
Yes, indeed.
And then Saturday, we're opening the conference on Saturday with a prayer breakfast hosted by Sarah Sanders and Dr. Alveda King. And on that day, we'll be talking about a whole host of things, religious freedom, a few other concepts kind of within that vein. And we're going to still have, again, I would say check the website because there's so many names, there's so many panels, there's so much happening that really, to do it justice, you just got to go to the website and check it out because I just can't go through everything. But that's kind of the conference in a nutshell. Essentially, I've been, and I'm sure you have been as well, I've been to the conservative conferences, I've been to political conferences, I've been to cultural events and festivals and concerts, and we really felt like we wanted to create our own thing. We had Alex Phillips, who's a business partner of mine, and Kachali, it's really his brainchild to bring together a festival, a fun place where people can come and learn not just like, the rhetorical talking points of the day, but also learn how to get more active in politics on a local level, on a state level, on a national level. how that works. Meet and network with some of their favorite, content creators, some of their favorite pundits or social media folks, and really talk about some important issues that are apolitical, that are bipartisan in our opinion. And it's also a great place for us to allow people who might not have, we have the A-listers like the Don Juniors and the Sarah Sanders, but what we did last year and what we're going to continue this year is having a place where folks who are maybe haven't been elevated up to that level, give them a shot, give them a chance on the same stage, on the same platform, at the same event with a lot of these A-list folks, because we know how much potential they have in spirit. I mean, so for instance, last year we had awarded Scott Pressler Volunteer of the Year award. We awarded Brandon Strzok an award. We awarded Carpe Donktum an award at last year's American Priority Conference. By the way, that was the first time Carpe had ever done a public event, and I had to convince him to do that.
Wow.
But we recognized early on that these people are special, that something about them is special. They have a special energy, they have a special motivation, and we knew that they were going to really influence things. And so we even early on, we recognized it, and we wanted to recognize them. Wayne Dupree received an award, a whole host of folks. And that's really what we're doing as well. We really want to combine folks who are already established with folks who we know have a lot of potential or who are on the way up, and really accentuate them and really expand their reach and their audience. And so, yeah, without me rambling too much, that is to start. That's kind of what's going on with the conference. So it's pretty epic. It's 3 days. The general admission prices are $250. However, for your viewers specifically, we've created a promo code. So when you go onto the website to register or to look at it, if you enter the promo code CSC, then you will receive $150 off your ticket. So that's a shout out to you. And obviously I will make sure that some of those proceeds go to support you and your show. And it's just a good way for us all to grow. And I want as many people from different demographics. It doesn't really matter if you're conservative, although we understand that we are catering to more of a conservative audience. We have folks there from all over, from big tech, from whistleblowers, let's say. Some of these people I can't even announce, by the way. There's so many people on the website. There's like almost 100 speakers on the website. I think.
It's a lot on here. I'm on the website right now, and it's a lot of people, a lot of great people I know personally, and some that I don't know that I love to meet.
Absolutely, and it's like there's even people we can't announce, either for security reasons or because we want there to be a little surprise for people who actually came out and went to the event. And we're going to be tackling some big subjects. Obviously, James O'Keefe is going to be there. He's not going to be alone. And obviously, a lot of people understand that there's so many things happening in big tech right now. It's going to be a very hot topic of contention. We have a lot of political folks there, obviously, people that everyone would know, like Donald Trump Jr., and some that they might not know, people who have a lot to say about the inner workings of some of these social media organizations and internet companies. So it's something that people are going to want to check out, especially if you're interested in internet censorship or overreach by big tech or regulation of these specific topics. We're going to have bombshell folks that you do not want to miss. It's going to be historical, I promise you that. But it's also going to be a fun environment. One of our sponsors, which is the Leadership Institute, they're having grassroots training all 3 days. So if you want to go and you want to learn how to become more active politically, regardless of your ideology or what political spectrum you belong to or you subscribe to, you can go there to figure out how campaigns work, how the voting process works, how all the nuts and bolts of politics work, and how you can get involved. Scott Pressler is going to be working with a lot of those folks as well, training folks, teaching them how to register voters, teaching them how to register themselves, teaching them how to talk to people about politics in a conducive way. A whole host of very useful skills will be available to folks if they want to utilize that. And if you just want to go and you want to go see your favorite speakers and go to the pool and lounge and have a good time for 3 days, you can do that too. So there's really a lot. There's so much. I wish I could unpack it all and run through it, but it's just crazy. There's so many things. But again, AmericanPriority.com. use the promo code CSC in honor of you, and folks will get $150 off their admission ticket. And for Florida residents, there's an additional $25 discount.
Well, that sounds great, man. And hey, I'm seeing the website. It's a whole lot of people that are going to be there, but a lot of things to do as well. You mentioned the yacht party. There's also like a golf tournament, correct?
Yes. We have the golf tournament. That's on Thursday morning, and spots are filling up fast, but we still have a few. So if you like golf and you want to get involved, just go to the website and just add it onto your ticket. Proceeds for a lot of what we're doing are organizations. The American King Foundation, that's obviously Alveda King and Angela Stanton King's project. They're working with the First Step Act and really making some really good headway in criminal justice reform. And the project that they're doing is just, it's just amazing to see people get second chances in life. And, you know, their organization helps them get jobs. It builds infrastructure, gives them job skills so that they can break the cycle and really limit recidivism. And so it's a very good organization. It helps so many folks. And the Walk Away Foundation as well, Brandon Strzok's Walk Away. Their message is just so powerful that, you know, you don't have to subscribe to any kind of one groupthink, one hive mind, and that you are an individual that can make your own decisions and build your own belief systems on information and data that you collect yourself. And Brandon and Angela are both great, and we are really proud to support those organizations.
Oh, definitely. Now, have you had any people that are saying, "Oh, we're going to shut this down. You won't come to South Florida. We're not going to take this"? Have you had any of that come your direction?
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because it's not the first event we've done. We launched the American Priority Conference last year in Washington, D.C., and there was definitely some of that there. And we've done other conservative events, and we've just events in general we've helped across the country, and that's usually an issue. However, with this one, and I don't know specifically, it's just because it's the venue. Perhaps maybe they understand that pulling those shenanigans at a Trump property is just not a good idea.
Right.
And that's probably not going to get them very far. Is probably why we haven't seen more of it. And if there is, I haven't been paying attention. All I've seen so far, minus some trolls and some, fake news media hit jobs. Besides that, everyone's really excited about this event. We really wanted to break the mold on what a conservative or what a political event could be. And we wanted to set a new precedent because so many people, when they go to these events, are accustomed to a suit and a tie, and it's very stiff and it's very rigid and formal. And we wanted to break that because that's not how a majority of the people, American people, are nowadays. You know, we like to have fun. We like to let our hair down, and we like to jump in a pool, and we like to golf, and these are things that we really, as Americans, all like to do. So why can't our events really represent us more than just a black suit and tie, very straight establishment formal event?
It makes sense to me, definitely, because you want to be able to be a real person and not just kind of like a representative of who you are. Just be yourself and enjoy each other and also learn a lot. I was seeing some workshops on there, how to do certain things. Is that going to be there? Like how to learn, how to engage and really push things forward in your community?
Absolutely. All 3 days, there will be the Leadership Institute is putting stuff on literally all 3 days. They're going to have a designated room. If you want to get involved in any of those things, just go check it out on the website and check out their website as well. It's all linked on AmericanPriority.com. And you can they really break down the nuts and bolts of how to get involved, the most effective way. Some people, part of this movement, this political shift that's happening in our country is a lot of Americans coming together to realize that they have skills. They have things that they can offer. They have abilities that, when harnessed, can really change things. And so someone might be really good at reading or really good at analysis. They might be a lawyer, or they might be an architect or an engineer or whatever, or they might just work in the service industry. But what we've realized through doing this and through touring the country for the last year is that so many people unexpectedly have skills and abilities and passion for things that may not have anything to do with their normal day-to-day life. For instance, a good example of that is our meme contest that we ran on Meme World in association with MemeWorld.com. So we just announced the winners today of that, but I would definitely go check it out. But what we found is, it's obviously Carpe Donktum and Mad Liberals, and some of the top memers, some of the president's favorite memers are involved, and they're definitely coming. They're good friends of mine. And they helped us throw this competition. And when we chose the winners, when we were talking to these folks, they're just people. Like one guy, he's just a painter, and he lives in New Mexico. And one guy is, a lawyer. They don't really do this for a profession. They just really like it. And the art they put out, and the programming and the messaging they put out, just because they like to do it without any kind of real monetary incentive. It's just because that's what they like to do. It really makes a huge contribution. I mean, if you were to look at Carpe Donktum, for instance, like literally he came to our conference last year. It was his first public event ever. And I had to ask him, I was like, man, you just got to come. You just got to come. And he's like, well, I don't know. That was before he was out there. That's before his name was out there. And he came. And he met a whole host of folks. He started networking. It was really a great event for him. And now look at him a year later. He's sitting in the White House with the president. So it really is, this event, it really is for folks who want to get involved and want to have fun. And you don't have to have any kind of pedigree to your name. You can just be a good-hearted, fun-loving American from any socioeconomic background or political background or religious background or whatever, and come and just have fun.
Oh, definitely. I'm gonna touch more on that in a moment. But the memes, I saw my favorite one is the action figure.
Yeah.
Oh man, people like I posted that on my Instagram. People were like, "Hey, where can I buy that?" People were like dead serious. Hey, can I buy the action? Because it's so good. I mean, really, I put it on the screen right quick. I mean, that is fantastic. Now, like, do you know anything about that? Is that a real action figure people can buy, or is it just somebody? Like, what is that?
So that is a meme by Forever Trumper. We just announced that he won the meme image contest today. So again, those were memes. Those were just ideas that came up in his head. His background, actually, he went to school for illustration and package design, which doesn't seem like, when you think about that and you're like, well, politically and memes, how does that work? But he was really representing himself in the memes that he was creating. So he created these G.I. Joe action figures and these superhero action figures, featuring all of our speakers. And a lot of those illustrations he did by hand, and it's just amazing to see that skill. But technically, they're not available for sale yet. Although he won the competition, and he's going to be at the event. And we're looking into exactly what it would take to get a limited run, at least, of those created. Because as soon as he started posting them, people immediately started asking where they could buy them. So, we're working on. We might make a limited run of them. We'll see, and see how it goes. But no, it's just a meme. It's just a creative package designer who came up with that in his way to support his country and support his president and to support our event. And it's all grassroots, which is the best part. He just did it because he wanted to.
Well, that's fantastic, man. But to get back to the point that I was talking about earlier, that you mentioned about the networking and meeting people, that's very important. Anytime I go to any of these events, anywhere people are at that I could talk to, that I can meet, is always a good thing, because you can meet a lot of great people and they can help you go forward in ways you don't even imagine. You might not even know. You just, run into somebody in passing, you exchange information, and then a year later they say, hey, you want to come to the White House? Come with me. So, to go to an event like that with so many like-minded people but are kind of different from each other, that can be fantastic. That can really help you out and help everybody out a whole lot to get together and build something together.
Absolutely. And, in my involvement in politics and kind of what we're doing now, but even before that, one thing that conservatives specifically do differently than liberals usually is they're very individually minded. They can work as a team usually, but they like to do their own thing. They have their own ideas and their own brand, which is why I think they're not nearly as susceptible to a lot of the groupthink. But also that can pose problems, especially when you're trying to unite folks and collaborate, do mutual projects. And so we really wanted this event to be a place where people can let their walls down and network with folks in a healthy way. We are trying to structure it in a way where cliques don't form as easily, and people from different realms who may not have ever bumped into each other in any normal circumstances now are going to be in the same room, forced essentially sometimes to have these conversations and to meet people and to really get out of their comfort zones and break the echo chamber that social media promotes, or that the mainstream media promotes, or that divisive politicians promote, and realize that, hey, I may disagree with this person across the table from me, but at the end of the day, he's a human and I'm a human, and we agree on 80% of things. So why can't we work together? And it's a positive message. And from last year, it really, really has helped us grow and expand and build upon this to the point where we're at now. So it's good old American values that we're pushing. And I'm very proud to be affiliated with this event.
Definitely, man. Well, I know you're busy. I won't keep you too much longer. I know your phone's blowing up right now. People are saying, hey, I need tickets. Can I get the flyer? Can I get this? Can I get that? So I know you're busy, man. So I'll go ahead and let you go. So before you go, tell everybody more about yourself again, if they're just now coming in, and where they can find tickets. Just a brief summary of what's going on here with the AmpFest and yourself.
Absolutely. My name is Tom Chatelet. You can find me at Tom Chatelet on Twitter. It's pretty much the only platform I really use. But you can go to American P 2019. That's our Twitter page. Or you can go to AmericanPriority.com. You can see all the speakers, well, most of the speakers, except some of the secret ones that we're not announcing. You have to come to the event for that. But you can see a majority of the speakers, including Anthony, including the creator of this content. So, but we're going to have a pool party. We're going to have movie screenings, a yacht party, golf, meals. A good thing to tell folks is almost every meal here for general admission ticket holders will be provided.
Wow.
So we have, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, with the exception of Thursday with that golf tournament. Depends if you're involved in the golf tournament, but otherwise, you can come and meals will be provided. You can just have fun, hang out, really not have to worry about anything. Room rates are extremely affordable. We worked out an amazing deal with the Trump National Doral Resort. It's fantastic. It's like the resort is one of my favorite places, and I'm not just saying that because we're having it there. We're having it there because it's one of my favorite places. We go there all the time, and and typical Trump style, its motto is never settle, and they really live up to the name. Even just the basic rooms are immaculate. They're amazing. Sarah Sanders, Donald Trump Jr., Charlie Kirk, Dinesh D'Souza, Robert Davi, Brandon Strzok, Angela Stan King, Alveda King. The list goes on and on and on. Go to AmericanPriority.com, check out the speakers, and then go to the register button. And when you buy your tickets, put promo code CSC in honor of this program that I'm currently on right now, and you'll get $150 off your general admission ticket.
Well, there it is, man. Thank you for coming on, man. I definitely appreciate you, and I will be seeing you in Miami at the Trump.
Absolutely, man. Bring your swim trunks. We're going to have a blast.
Oh, definitely. Will do, man. Appreciate you.
All right.
All right. Shout out to my man, Tom Chatelet from the AmpFest 2019. That's the American Priority Festival and Conference. That'll be at Trump Doral. All right. Uh-oh. Hello. Oh, I'm well. How about yourself? Well, I just got done with Tom just now, so if you wanted to say a few words, yeah, he was just on just now because that was at 8:30. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just now getting your call. Maybe you may have called when he was on the line at the same time. I'm right. Is you already called? Like, what time did you call? Oh, well, I didn't get it. I don't know what happened. Well, I got a few more minutes because I think I was scheduled to about 9 o'clock. So if you want to say a few words, just get yourself centered in the camera because right now you kind of like off to the side. There we go. Alrighty. Much better. All right. So, okay, we have Gretchen. What's your last name, Gretchen?
Smith.
Gretchen Smith. And you're from?
I am from Nashville, Tennessee.
All right, Nashville. So you're representing the American Priority Festival as well, correct?
Yes.
All
yes.
Right. So tell us a little about your role at American Priority Festival and what we can expect from you and from the festival.
Well, we're going to be sharing our mission of taking care of our own, one veteran at a time. We are digital warriors here out on the social media platforms, raising awareness about veterans issues, but also dealing with individuals who are in crisis or are in need in our community. And that's what I'm going to be doing down at the conference. Is I'm going to be talking about all of the variety of needs and issues. We have some really serious stuff going on in our community that I don't believe our nation is aware of. Mainstream media will not share these stories. So it really is on us, we the people, to get out there and be their voice, to give them a voice. We have roughly every 65 minutes a veteran committing suicide. That is a national crisis that is not being discussed. I feel like that should be highlighted every day in the news until solutions are found. So that's what I'm going to be discussing down at the conference. Is I want to raise awareness about the homelessness issues that we have. We have roughly 40,000 veterans who are Americans, of course, that are homeless, and we're dealing with this 272 veterans and their families right now. We are a small organization, and if we are dealing with these type of numbers, imagine what it looks like on the national scale. That's what's so scary about this. And I want to share the faces, the names to the term veteran, because I want to make that human connection, and I want everybody to know that when somebody puts on that uniform, takes that oath, it's on us when they come back home, when their spirits are crushed, when their hearts are just broken from losing their brothers and sisters over in combat. It truly is on us to take care of them and to guide them to the path of hope, of help, of healing. And it really is the solution, I believe, for the most part, is us coming together in historic numbers to be the change, to walk with them, to guide them to the resources that are out there in their community. And I'm just excited about this conference because I believe that we're going to be able to do a lot of veterans issues and get the awareness raised, and it's going to be an exciting time.
Oh, it definitely will be. Absolutely. A lot of people are coming. I've seen the list on the website. I mean, it's countless names that are going to be there, and it'd be a great opportunity to tell everyone about what's happening with your company and just the mission in general about how we can help our veterans. I got to talk about kind of the elephant in the room for me as it relates to vets. How do we get the message out there that the illegal aliens and people coming across that shouldn't be here are taking resources from veterans? You got a lot of homeless veterans, people that need things, people that really deserve the country to help them, but they're kind of being overlooked in favor of the illegal aliens. How do we get the message across to the American people that that is not the right thing to do and that we should really help our veterans more?
Absolutely. You just hit the nail on the head. And the $1 million question is, why are our politicians in DC pushing all these different programs, pushing money towards illegal immigrants? And why is the mainstream media, why are they highlighting illegal immigrants coming across our border, sitting in those waiting facilities to be, transferred wherever they're supposed to go, and they're feeding them, they're housing them? And when our veterans go to get help, we tell them where to go, what offices to go try in their local counties. Their counties are turning them away, saying we are using these vouchers for welfare purposes. So they are truly taking federal dollars that are designated, allocated for veterans, and they're reallocating them for illegal aliens. I do not understand it. We literally have been told this at a VA office, HUD office, where they were passing out vouchers. Our veteran went in and asked for one, and he was denied. And he was also told if he wasn't a veteran, he would have gotten one. How ridiculous is that?
Wow.
The money had been moved from one pot, which was the veterans VASH voucher, to a pot that anybody and everybody can come in and ask for, including illegal immigrants. I am disgusted by that. Why are we allowing this to happen? When are we the people going to step up and say our tax dollars needs to be used for Americans, for veterans? Let's take care of our own first before we are shoving money towards the illegal immigrants who shouldn't even be in our country in the first place. They should be getting in line, following the laws, and coming in legally. I embrace all legal immigrants, but when you cut the line, when you come into our country illegally, I have no sympathy. I think you need to be deported, and I think you need to get in line and come in the proper way. Our veterans have served. They have sacrificed. They walk a very broken path, and it is beyond disgusting that we are not taking care of them. And we have individual case after case after case to prove that our nation is ignoring our veterans. We are stepping over our own to give a hand up and a hand out to illegal immigrants. And it is absolutely maddening.
Oh, absolutely. 100%. Now, to speak about those that are currently enlisted, it can kind of be, kind of discouraging to hear the state of veterans right now. How do we encourage those that are in service, to keep going and to keep fighting? And then, when they come home, it'll be something to look forward to. How do we keep that encouragement up for people that are currently enlisted?
We grow a platform for them to let them know that, we the people, us veterans who've already served and walked that path, we are here for you. We are speaking a loud, strong voice. We're growing it every day. We're becoming a nationwide network, and we're going to be heard. We're going to be a force to be reckoned with. And I want our active duty to know that we've got their back, that we are clearing the path, forging a path for them to come home to get the help they need. And I feel like the louder that we can grow our voice as one, as united, it's got to be historic, because what we are experiencing, we've never experienced in our country. The influx of illegal immigrants and the fact that we are taking care of them and putting our veterans to the side, it's absolutely, I've never seen anything like it before. It's just continuing to get worse and worse. And I just want our active duty to know that we've got your back. We are becoming a stronger and stronger voice. We're getting out there. We're talking about it. We're spreading the message on social media. And I tell you what, we are quickly replacing mainstream media because they've done it to themselves. They are no longer relevant.
That's right.
All they do is spew fake news. I love what you're doing out here, because what you're doing is needed. Our voices need to be heard. The true stories need to be shared. Real news needs to be spoken. And that's what we're all doing on our own platforms. But I love the fact that we're starting to find each other. We're starting to connect. And that is going to allow us to be more effective and to help not only more veterans, but Americans in general. We're going to be able to share real news with the Americans that care about what's going on in our country. And I believe that most Americans do care.
Oh, absolutely. 100%. Now, here's a question for you. If there's any law that could be passed on the federal or local level to really help your cause go forward and the cause for the entire country, if there could be one thing, maybe two things, what would they be in your opinion?
You know what? One of the most important things I think is oversight with the money being spent with the federal dollars. There's such a lack of oversight. There's so much money. Our VA it's a huge, tremendous bureaucracy, and it's incredibly difficult to keep control of the money that's going out. There's got to be a way to make sure that the entities they're sending the money to, it's being used in the proper manner. It's being used to assist veterans. And we see so much mismanagement of those funds here at the grassroots level. By the time the money trickles down to us, to our level, because I am a veteran as well, we're getting literally pennies, if that, on the dollar. And so that is something that we need to discuss, that we need to have communication with DC, with the VA headquarters. We need to let them know, you may have good intentions with all of these programs, but by the time the funding reaches us, there's nothing left. There's nothing left for the veteran, because all of the overhead is it's being sucked into all the overhead and the salaries and all of the advertising. And there's so much money that's being spent on things other than the veteran in need and crisis. And that's where small veteran orgs like I'm coming in. You would not believe the growth we're experiencing. We are literally we have countless veterans waiting their turn to be assisted by Canada Vets, because they're not getting the help from the organizations who are federally funded. We are not federally funded. We literally are taking $10 here and there from people's groceries budgets.
Right.
And we brought in almost $500,000, and literally 96%, if not more of that, has gone directly to the veteran. You know why? Because we're doing it the right way. We are what a charity organization is supposed to look like. And I would love to have a conversation on Capitol Hill to let them know what true charity is and giving back means, because whatever we have set up, the system we have, is not working. It literally is a paycheck for people. The veterans are getting left behind. That is one of the key issues that we need to be addressing with DC.
Oh, definitely. I think the main thing would be kind of a culture of giving from the people, and not so much about, trying to take tax dollars away, because, that gets misappropriated. Like you said, the money doesn't get spent properly. You need oversight just to figure out where the cash dollars are going. But if you're able to give directly to causes, directly to people, that could help much more. And like you said, it doesn't take that much. People are giving their grocery money out their change drawer, just giving it to the organization, a little bit here, a little bit there, from everyone as a collective effort definitely goes a long way.
Absolutely. It doesn't fall on the shoulders of one organization or one person. When tens of thousands of people are giving $5 or $10, oh my gosh, that matters. It makes a tremendous difference. We are making headway one veteran at a time, and we're able to tackle that issue. We're able to help that veteran become stabilized in their life. And we also look at long-term solutions too. So we're not just doing a Band-Aid fix. We're not an ATM machine. We're providing them with a service where they're going to be on track for the rest of their lives. So yes, when we come together as just an average American citizen saying, you know what, we're not going to rely on tax dollars that are going to these huge organizations with the massive overhead. We're going to stand up and we're going to take action. And we're going to walk together as one and speak as one. And we're going to assist Americans and veterans on our own. And again, it's powerful. It's effective. We're using social media as a tool for something positive, and it is working. It's absolutely working. We need to have more orgs popping up like this on the grassroots level, following this model, because we can make a tremendous fundamental change in our veteran community and in our nation by taking action on our own, just like you are. You're speaking your voice, and it's going nationwide, and that's what we need for so many of us to be doing.
Absolutely. Well, I have with me Gretchen Smith from Code of Vets, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
All right. So how do we get to your website? How do we, help your cause? Can you give us the links and everything that we need to go ahead and help what you got going on?
Absolutely. We are at codeofvets.com. We are posting our latest stories, my live streams on the website. You can donate on the website. You will find me on Twitter. I am a Twitter digital warrior at Code of Vets. We also have a Facebook page, Code of Vets, Instagram, Code of Vets. Just please follow us. Share the mission. The biggest thing is for us I would love for you to donate, but if you can't, you know what, that's okay. A retweet, a share is just as critical. It's just as powerful, because what we're doing is we're sharing these individual veterans in crisis for a larger purpose. Not only are we assisting that one particular vet and his family or her family, we are raising awareness, critical awareness about what it's like to walk in the boots of a veteran every day, what it's like when you come home after you've served. There are so many unique things that come along with service, and we need to honor these veterans, and you can do that just with a retweet. A simple retweet could save a veteran's life.
Absolutely. One last thing about the conference we're going to have in Miami, the American Priority Festival and Conference. Tell us about that. Are you going to have a booth there? Are you going to be a guest? Like, how is that going to work out?
Yes. Thank you for asking. Yes, there's going to be a booth there. I'm going to have flyers there. I'll have some swag to pass out, some Code of Vets goodies to pass out. There are going to be some veterans who are attending. I've already had some veterans respond to me saying, Gretchen, I can't wait to see you there. I'll also be involved in a breakout session on Saturday night from 7 to 8 o'clock with another veteran, and we'll be discussing veteran issues. I'll be able to share some individual case stories so people can gain awareness of what we are actually capable of doing we can solve some very serious, complex issues using social media as a platform. And I want to share that because I want others to get involved. I want other people to be inspired to even start their own organizations using social media, because it's an untapped resource right now. We're really one of the only veteran organizations that strictly use social media, and it is incredibly effective. So I'm going to be sharing that too. So please come out and join us. Support the veterans, support this conference. We are excited about it.
Well, hey, very well said. Thank you for the call. Thank you for coming in. I will be seeing you at the American Priority Festival and Conference in Miami. All right now. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Have a blessed night.
Same to you. All right. Thank you to Gretchen Smith from Code of Vets. Now, shout out to my man Tom. You saw Tom earlier. That was Tom Chatterley and Gretchen Smith. They're both going to be at the American Priority Festival and Conference. Just call it AmpFest for short. That'll be in Miami, Florida from October the 10th through the 12th. I'll be there. I'll be covering the event. I'll be at all the parties. You'll see me all over the place in Miami at the Trump Doral. I've seen pictures of the Trump Doral, and it's a beautiful place. I love it. Beautiful place with great people. I'm going to get to the calls right now. I know some of you guys are waiting. I will be getting to the calls. How far from Nashville does the organization reach? Hey, you know, that's a whole different thing. Okay. But I want to thank you guys for being here. Please like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. I most certainly appreciate you. Alrighty. Nationwide, that's right, Nationwide. And she's going to be at the event in Miami with the booth set up. And my man Tom that was on earlier is like one of the main guys is organizing the whole situation. So that's why he was here talking as well. All right. Hey, I'm a sober guy, so I ain't gonna party too hard, but I'm be having some fun down there for sure. And I like how it's not, you know, real suited and tight. Like I like wearing my suits. I got a few suits. I like wearing them, but I like it just kind of be real relaxed as well. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a great network opportunity, and we're going to get a lot accomplished. When I went to the BLS Summit last year, I got a lot accomplished as well. So I think I'll be able to do a lot at this event and also BLS and also Politicon when I go. I got a video coming up. It'll come out sometime between now and Saturday that tells you my whole tour schedule. So that will be that. But let me go ahead and get to the next part of the show, which would be the calls. You guys on the drill. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Hold on. Let me make sure that I can get to my next destination here. Alrighty, let's go ahead and do this. And give me 1 second, you guys. Appreciate y'all for being here. Everybody talking about Ivan. I know Ivan want to call in. I know some of you guys want to call in about that the whole thing with, what was that, the Revolt Summit? That was a really big video too. People have been DMing me about that. That's a pretty big one. All right, and I'm on. The number to call is 434-658-1220. All right. Somebody says if we can collectively name the elite bankers that promote degeneracy, we win. How you gonna do that? What you gonna do about them? You gonna name them and then what? All right, call you on the line 347. Who am I speaking to? 347. You are on the line. Let me see. It might be me. Hold on 1 second. All right, caller, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, what's going on?
Not much as of lately.
All right. But what's on your mind? What's happening?
Yeah, that egg buck situation that happened. That guy's something else.
Yeah, Ed Buck. I'm glad that they finally got him because he already killed 2 people and was pretty much getting away with it. Nothing was happening to him. So I'm glad they went ahead and got him. Now, is he going to do any jail time? Is he going to do the appropriate amount of jail time? I'm not really sure. That kind of remains to be seen.
Right, probably, but I doubt it because he's like a very super liberal, big donor to the Clintons, to Ted Lieu, to Adam Schiff, and probably hell into the Obamas. So I doubt it.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to get anything done, but we'll see. You know, now what I think what happened, it might have been a federal thing or whoever got him. They said that he had aggressively caused the deaths of the other 2 men. So with that kind of statement being said, I feel like they need to go ahead and really, you know, put and get something going. Because if you say something like that, and you don't do anything, then it's like, okay, what do we really got going on here? You just, you know, totally ineffective.
Right, like absolutely, like. Oh man. Anyway, another part I want to talk about is, did you watch the New Mexico Trump rally yesterday?
No, I didn't watch it, but I saw some pictures of it. I heard it was crazy. I heard it was really just off the wall, just really, really, really fantastic. A lot of really high energy. Yeah. The opposite of what you would see at an event featuring a Joe Biden, for example.
That's what Joe Biden is.
Yeah, pretty much. You ready to go to bed, get a pillow, and just get knocked straight on out.
Yeah, like I saw like statistics from like one of Trump's aides is that there were 40% Latinos and 31% Democrats in the Trump rally. 31% Democrats.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
just
matter of fact, I gotta repeat that in case nobody heard it, or I gotta just kind of explain. What happened was, they kind of like cross-referenced the names that applied for the rally. I'm not sure who they is. It could have been an internal thing, but anyway, they cross-referenced who applied for the rally, people that actually went there with voting records, and 31% of them were registered Democrats. Right, and then 40% were Hispanic. So
right,
you have New Mexico, where it's a lot of Hispanics at. A lot of Hispanics were there, and 1/3 of them almost were Democrat. So,
right.
I mean, that tells you right there that a Democratic Party does not really have a good grip on the community. They think they do.
Right, like, and absolutely, like Hillary Clinton got like 48% of the voting in Mexico, where Trump has 40%, which with the third party, Gary Johnson has 9.34% of the voting in Mexico. That's why it was like, that's why Clinton vote totals were down compared to Obama's. And also right. Obama was better towards campaign than Clinton, but I digress. If Trump gets 49% of like some like majority Gary Johnson and gets above like the 50% mark, he might win New Mexico.
Gary Johnson, you talking about scary Gary Johnson?
Yes.
Gary Johnson has zero chance of winning anything.
I know that but he got 9.3% of the vote back in 2016.
He got how much of the vote?
9.34% of the vote in 2016 when he went for the third party, Libertarian Party in 2016
Yeah,
election.
it ain't really gonna. And I think Gary Johnson was the biggest name over there, and I don't think it's gonna really be able to do anything this time. His former VP pick, Bill Weld, is trying to like primary Trump, so I don't think they have a chance at this particular point in time. Like the incumbent is always stronger than somebody just trying to get in for the first time, so I think they really have no chance. But it'd be interesting to see him try. But the phone lines are jumping, so I'm gonna get to another call, man. Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
I appreciate you too.
All right, now peace.
Peace.
Thank you to my man Joshua for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. And the number to call is 434-658-1220. Thank you all for being here. Definitely appreciate you. Yeah, what is Aleppo exactly? I don't want to butcher your name, Araya. Yeah, what is Aleppo? All right, call us. You're on the line, 617. Who am I speaking to?
Yeah, this is Ivan.
All right, Ivan, what's going on?
Not much. You always claim about Bernie Sanders being a socialist. That's your claim, right?
That's what he says, isn't it?
Well, no, it's not. You want certain areas to be socialized. I already told you, but you keep saying it's a socialist and a communist. Give me the definition of communism. Do you know what it is?
I don't know. You tell me.
No. I'm asking you. You're the one who
I said, sir, let's listen to what I said. I said, I don't know. You tell me.
So then stop saying that he's a communist, because it's not.
So why is he not a communist?
Because they're not communists. They're not communists. They're not socialists.
But Bernie Sanders, wait a minute. Bernie Sanders calls himself a socialist. So is he wrong about himself?
He's socialist progressive, but he's not a socialist.
So is he wrong? Or is he, sir? Listen, listen. Just you gotta. Hey, when I start talking, you gotta hush, because you know the thing about it, the beauty about this show, I can just mute you and then nobody can hear you. So see, I don't know why you're still talking, because you know when I start talking, that nobody can hear you and I can't hear you either. So I know you could be talking right now. I don't even know. I'm gonna turn my microphone, my speakers back on and see if you're still speaking. Okay, you're not talking anymore. Now, the question I have for you is Bernie Sanders wrong when he calls himself a socialist?
He never said he was a socialist, a progressive.
No. He says he's a socialist. He says, matter of fact, he says he's a democratic socialist. Is that right or wrong?
Well, no, it's not wrong, because it's not a full complete socialist. Socialism is.
So how is a socialist different?
Let me explain to you.
How is a socialist, sir? Listen. How is a socialist different, sir? How is a socialist different than a democratic socialist? What's the difference?
Well, a socialism is a political economic theory of socialized organization with advocate that means of production and distribution in exchange.
Look, I don't got time for you to be reading stuff. Just answer the question.
It means that the government will own and run the productions.
Look, Ivan, listen to me, Ivan.
Of companies.
Ivan, listen to me. You're not very good at listening, sir. I need you to listen. The question was, how is a socialist different than a democratic socialist?
Because it's not a democratic socialist.
But what's the difference, though? Socialist. Sir, what's the difference?
What is the difference? Because it's not okay, so if you consider to be a socialist, that means you're going to advocate for the ownership of private property.
Look. Okay, you're not answering it, sir. Sir, listen. You're not answering the question.
It's not a socialist.
You're not answering the question. So you can just move on to your next topic.
It's not a socialist. I just told you, it's not a socialist.
You're not answering the question. Move on to your next topic.
Socialized medicine.
Look, Ivan, listen. Move on to your next topic because you're not answering the question.
What is the question? If it's a democratic socialist, what is the difference of democratic socialist?
Look, you got to start.
We don't have socialism in this country. How many times I got to tell you?
Okay, all right. But see, my point is this: you are not answering the question. So move on to your next point.
Because we don't have socialism.
Look, Ivan, I don't want to hang up on you, man. I'm trying to be nice to you. I know it's early in the call. I want you to stay on for a little bit and have a little debate. But if you're just going to keep repeating yourself like you're a broken record, then I don't got time for this. I really don't. So move on to your next topic. All right, move on to your next topic. Oh, man. Okay, bye. I'm sorry. Ivan, listen, you're gone. I hung up. I don't got no time. If you... Don't repeat yourself over and over again. Don't just be like, oh, we don't have this, we don't have that. You got to be able to answer the question. Bernie Sanders says he's a democratic socialist. How is that different than a regular socialist? He couldn't answer the question, and he didn't want to move on, so I had to hang up on him. So, R.I.P. Ivan. Let me get to my next call. All right. 713, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
This is George, man. Hold on a minute. Let me
I don't get the time.
Let me turn my device down.
Alrighty.
So, all right, there we go. Appreciate you taking my call, man. I don't know what was going on with your last caller, but I won't get into that. But hey, a couple of things I wanted to touch bases with, right? Like I think I told you before, I'm one who kind of like followed the Q posts, with A-Chan being down, everybody's running around wondering what the heck is going on. I'm trying to see if it's a lark happening. Did Trump play everybody, But things is happening, so I was like, okay, things is happening. Like with the guy you talk about that got arrested in California for, dealing with the, possibly being having something to do with the other two guys getting killed. But listen, how about this? I'm gonna touch bases on two things, and then I'm gonna get off, and then I'll talk to you again. I want to see what others have to say. The Kavanaugh thing. I listened to George Webb. George Webb says this really is true about this whole when they were kids and did things, on the Kavanaugh thing. I'm not sure. I'm just kind of sitting back, right? Just being observant, seeing what's going on. And then on Joe Biden, right? Joe Biden faking it. Don't forget that his son is having some issues with a gas deal that they did in Crimea, right? So Joe Biden is trying to act like he's losing all his memory and he's just old, sleepy, and this, that, and the third, because there may be some consequences he may have to deal with. So, hey, man, but appreciate you taking my call. I'll just kind of sit back and hear what the other callers got to say. So, but don't let Joe Biden fool you with that act. That's an act, man. That's an act. Joe Biden is acting because he know based on these Q posts, he may end up in some serious heat. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about it like that, man. But I thank you for the
call.
Man.
Okay, appreciate it, ABL, man. And man, you're doing a great job, man. And I'll just sit back and listen to what the other callers has got to say.
All right, man. Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, man. Thank you. All right, bye-bye.
Hey, shout out to the caller. I didn't even think about that point of view. That's a very good point. He could be faking it because he could get sent to the penitentiary. But at the same time, I don't know. You know, some of these cognitive problems, it might not necessarily be a ruse. It could just be, you know, a serious thing. But that's a good point. Oh, that corn pop story. Hey, I believe the corn pop story, honestly. But it was just really kind of random for him to say that. It's like, why would you even, like, what was the purpose of him saying that story about corn pop? I don't know if his name was corn pop. That might not necessarily be the truth. Like, corn pop, why is that your name? What's going, like, you know, that's kind of strange to even have that kind of name to be assigned to you. It's really weird. So I don't know if that's true or not. It could be. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. I don't really know. But thank y'all for being here. I definitely appreciate you. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Let me go ahead and add that back on there. I took it off for the time I was on. Let me see. There we go. Open that. Put that back. Nippin, what's going on?
Not much. How you doing?
Everything's good, man. Can't complain.
So yeah, the fake Kavanaugh story. The New York Times trying to discredit the right as much as they can.
I mean, I can't even really tell what they're doing. I mean, it seems really weird that they would, because it was so obvious that it was fake, because people that wrote a book about it, and in the book they had information about the story, so people are just going to do a basic cross check to see if what was in the book is the same thing that's in the article, and obviously it wasn't. So you're trying to discredit the you know, anybody on the right and the president, but at the same time you're discrediting yourself.
Yeah, that's true, and that's completely contradicting the point.
That's right.
And yeah, something funny happened on my end of the pond.
What happened?
Basically, Boris Johnson went to a meeting in Luxembourg to meet the Luxembourg Prime Minister, and he got booed by the public, and he just decided that, you know what, I'm just going to go in. I'm not going to go to the meeting. And the left were up in arms, saying, "Oh, he's a phony. He's this. He's that."
Now, what meeting was this again?
It was a meeting about Brexit.
So why didn't he want to go?
Because he was being booed, and so he decided he would sit it out. And then the Luxembourgish Prime Minister, you know, rather than taking the meeting inside with all the press and stuff, well, the press, not all the journalists could go inside, so they couldn't do the meeting inside. You know what he did? You know, rather than, you know, cancel the meeting, hold it on a later day, he decided to continue without the Prime Minister. Our Prime Minister, he decided he would just do the meeting by himself.
That's insane. How are you gonna not have?
Like, how
you do that?
How rude!
Yeah.
How rude! That's just like me inviting you over to my house and then say, you know what, you can get the drinks when you can get the drinks yourself. That's just like me saying I'm not serving you. You can get things yourself.
Right. Yeah. That's pretty weird.
So yeah, and now the climate change protest. New York City allows kids to skip class for climate change protests.
That's right.
So, and now there's a Swedish woman who's become the Swedish Al Gore.
Pretty much the Swedish Al Gore.
16 years old. She's almost a decade younger than me.
Right. Yeah, and now she's the face of climate change now, because Al Gore is getting kind of long in the tooth. He's looking kind of like Joe Biden a little bit. So it's like, okay, we got to get younger. We got to get fresher.
He's younger than Trump. He's younger than Trump.
He's younger than Trump, but the energy is not younger than Trump. The energy is about 70 million years old.
Yeah.
Trump still has that spry.
As old as climate change itself. Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
And then apparently a third man overdoses at a Democratic donor. Ed Buck's apartment.
Ed Buck, remember that story? I don't know if you remember, but it was Ed Buck. He had 2 black men that died in his house before, and it was within like a year. They overdosed on drugs because what he was doing is injecting them with drugs to get their reaction. So 2 people died in his house, and there was never any kind of charges or nothing. He did not go to jail at all.
Should have been done for murder.
That's what I'm saying, or something. It should be some kind of crime.
Manslaughter, murder. There should have been charges. Just because he's a Democrat, no one bats an eyelid.
Correct, 100%.
Same way, whitewashing. Oh no, we can't have that. But as soon as a white character is blackwashed, they say, oh, it's inclusive.
Right, exactly.
Now, remember when I told you a few months ago about that Disney character, the Little Mermaid?
Yeah.
When they gave a black actor. Now imagine the backlash if the actress was white for the Princess and the Frog's main character.
Oh nah.
Imagine the backlash.
Oh no, you can't.
The cartoon is black. Like they'd say, oh no, that's racism. Disney are racist. But because it's from white to black, it's inclusive. Yeah, you know what? Either you be inclusive on both sides, or you call it as it is. Put it this way: it's either racism both ways, or inclusive. Both ways. You can't pick and choose.
It's got to be both ways. You can't just be one-sided.
Yeah. So in my eyes, it's racism in both directions.
Right.
Blackwashing is as bad as whitewashing, but then apparently when I try and give this logic, they just called me an Uncle Tom, a chalk ice.
A what? What was the last one?
A chalk ice. A chalk ice.
What is that?
A term given. It's a bit like Uncle Tom. Do you know what chalk ices are? They're like chocolate coated vanilla ice creams.
I had never heard that before in my life, but okay, I see. That's like.
Do you know what a Magnum is?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I've seen those here.
It's chocolate coated with vanilla ice cream on a stick.
Okay, yeah, because it's like a I've had those before, but I never heard it called a chalk ice, but I have had those before.
Yeah, so basically that's what it's referring to. Like you're black on the outside, but white inside. You're white.
Okay, I see.
But no. Apparently, so yeah, it's okay if it's a Democrat and if it's from white to black, but it's wrong if it's from black to white or when a Republican does it.
Right.
Now there's, I don't know what TI is, but it was something versus Candace Owens.
Yeah, that's kind of a long story right there. That's been a real big thing on the internets. That's kind of a long story, man. But hey, I got a lot of calls on the line, so I thank you for calling in as always.
One about Joe Biden completely flattens.
Oh, did you see that?
Yeah, Donald, he completely trolled him, like saying, "You know what? Take a rest." It's.
I mean, at this particular point in time, it's over. I mean, it's not. It's over.
You should just vote. You should throw in the towel.
That's right. Throw in the towel because it's a done deal, man.
Yeah, I mean, Trump's gonna win. The earliest Democrats can fight is, I don't know. Well, whenever they get their act together, which will probably be after they split into another division or something.
Pretty much.
So yeah, I hear that you're going to a conference on Saturday.
No, not Saturday. I won't be at a conference. The conference will be, well, I got a few conferences I'll be going to, but the one I was talking about today is going to be the American Priority Festival and Conference, and that'll be October the 10th through the 12th in Miami, Florida.
Okay, so but will you be on this Saturday?
No, Saturday I won't. I may not be here because I'll be traveling. I'll be doing something else. I'll just be doing like a personal vacation. So
okay, so you won't be doing any calls on Saturday.
I may or may not. I can't really say, but
Okay.
I probably won't. But I got a lot of calls on.
Okay.
I got a lot of calls on the line now, so I'm gonna go ahead and get to some more, man.
Yeah, I shall see you either on Sunday or next Thursday.
Right, your time, but Wednesday or Saturday my time. Right.
Yeah. I'll see you on one of those days.
All right, man. Thank you for the call as always. Definitely appreciate you.
Enjoy your trip.
Oh, I will do, man. Thank you.
I'll see you either on one of those days.
Got you, man. Thank you for the call.
Peace.
Peace. All right. Thanks so much, man, Nippon, for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. And you guys know the drill. The number to call is 434-658-1220. All right, let's get to my next call here. 361, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello, Brian. This is Daniel.
All righty, Daniel. What's going on?
Not much. We're on hump day. We're almost there. Hey, a quick question. Have you seen what went on with Justin Trudeau?
Yeah, I saw that right before I came on. I saw that he got caught with quote unquote brown face, which ain't nothing but blackface, really.
Right.
That's pretty interesting. What I want to see is how the media is going to handle it. What are they going to do about this?
Well, they forgave Governor. What was his name? Governor
Northam.
The governor from Virginia. Yeah.
Yeah, they did forgive him. Like, it was a big thing for a while. It wasn't even really that big of a thing. It was a thing for a while. And then he came out there at this goofy press conference and almost moonwalked. I was like, wow, what are you doing? After that, it was no more. He stays in office, and that's it. But if it were a conservative person, then they'd be like, hey, we got to have his head on the stick, take him out back and string him up. That'd pretty much be the end of his career. It's interesting how these things are handled in the media.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, if it was conservative, they would crucify him. Oh, I remember the name now. It was Governor Ralph Northam. That's the one who they forgave. So yes, I mean, yeah, when the tables are turned, yeah, I mean, they want to crucify you.
That's right.
I mean, like I said, I mean, I think he'll. I mean, much as I don't like the guy, I think he's going to survive it, but we'll see. But I also like to talk about before I go. I want to talk about what's his name, Ty against Candace Owens.
Yeah, T.I.
From my perspective, Candace she held herself pretty well. I mean, she does, you know, she'll argue. I mean, she'll step up to the plate. Ty, on the other hand, if I pronounce that correctly, I mean, he wouldn't let her get in a word. He was talking over her, talking down on her, very disrespectful.
Very much so.
But oh yes, I agree. And Candace, like I said, she makes some very good points. But people like Ty, unfortunately, I mean, they think they know it all, and they don't. But in my opinion, I mean, Candace was a lot more respectful. But people on Ty, on the other hand, I mean, they have no respect, and their opinions are just one-sided. But anyway, with the deal with Justin Trudeau, we'll find out what happens. But all in good time.
Absolutely.
But anyway, Brian, look, I just wanted to get your opinion on that. I am in a hurry, but I thank you for taking my call, sir.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him. And thank you all for being here. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Do not be afraid to call. Let me get to the next call here. 601, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Good evening.
Good evening. Who am I speaking to?
Yes, this is O'Shea Leonard. I see you every now and then on O'Shea Duke Channel.
Hey, what's going on? I recognize your voice, man. What's happening?
Ain't much to it. Just sitting up here, just clicked on the show to check it out. I'm not gonna hold you long. Y'all just sitting up here talking about the fact that the left made such a big uproar over the girl over changing that white character in that Little Mermaid to black. But now here's the deal. You remember of course you remember 9/11, right?
Yes.
Now here's the interesting thing about it. Did you know the guy that played the hero in that movie, the real guy was actually black?
In what movie?
9/11. The movie 9/11.
The movie?
The guy that played, yes.
I don't know about a movie called, something about Fahrenheit 9/11?
Nope, not Fahrenheit. That was with the heavyset white guy. The name of this movie is called 9/11.
I've never seen it.
And you haven't? I'm surprised. Look, I'm surprised with you. ABL, you've never seen the movie 9/11?
No.
They told the story of the Twin Towers falling, well, the fake story of it. But my point is, they changed the hero of the story was actually a black man in real life. But they used a white character to represent him.
Okay.
And no one from the right at that time I seen had any objection to it. It was like, well, does it? They even done an interview on it. Well, does it really matter? I'm like, hold up. With all the negative imagery that's put out about the black man, the very least could happen is when one do something positive, let it be represented by a black man. Do you feel me?
Okay, I see where you're going, but it's hard for me to really, because I've not seen the movie, but I kind of understand what you're saying.
Okay. Look, I'm not going to hold you long. I just want to jump up in there and say that right there.
Well, thank you for the call, man.
Ain't no trouble. Y'all have a good evening.
All right, same to you now.
Uh-huh.
All right, shout out to my man, O'Shea Lennox. I appreciate him for the call. I most certainly appreciate him. All right, and let me get to my next call here. 910, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Yeah, David Jones.
All righty. I got a little bit of feedback in the background for me. Can you turn your speakers down in the back?
Already did.
All righty. So what's happening?
Well, I was just going to say, as far as the black community, there's a lot of individuals who could just go to like Prager University and the inconvenient truth of the Republican Party, and they would understand that if you've been a Republican for as long as I have, which I was a Republican in 1979 when I registered in high school, which I already knew about President Lincoln and all the way up. And then they can look at the Prager University, the inconvenient truth of the Democratic Party, and they can understand the Democratic Party did the KKK and all the others.
Right. I'm with you. But
see, also,
go ahead. Keep going.
Go ahead. I listened to what you had to say.
Okay. Now, what I was going to say is that people can find this information. It's all over the place. It's everywhere. It's not just in one location. It's all over. But see, the thing about it is people got to be open-minded. They got to be willing to receive it. And a lot of people in the black community, unfortunately, are not open-minded. They don't want to hear anything other than what they already believe. So that's a problem you got to be able to tackle. But some people are open-minded. They're willing to hear information, or they become open-minded. And then once they're at that particular point, then information is better able to be given to them.
Exactly. Yeah. I just don't. The other thing is, if they would just listen to out of LBJ's own words when they passed the civil rights legislation back in 1964 or 65, I can't remember exactly when, he's on the phone or he's talking to, and he was saying the black people will vote for us for the next 200 years if we pass this legislation. And these people don't understand they're being manipulated by the Democratic Party. That's what I don't understand, is why isn't that being showed in the black community where they can understand how they're being influenced by this popular culture.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you, but see, people, like I was saying, when you close-minded like that and you have pretty much become attached to a certain thing, or a certain way of being, I mean, what are you really gonna? You can't get out of that until you're ready to get out of it. It's like somebody that's hooked on drugs. It's like, you know that the drugs are bad for you. You know you're looking crazy and your teeth falling out and all of this and that, but the person is not ready to give it up. It's only when they're ready to give it up will they ever do it. So that's the only true solution, in my humble opinion, to get somebody that's open-minded to get out of that to get out of that mental state.
ABL, I appreciate everything you have been doing. I love you as a brother, and I appreciate what you're doing. I just wish I knew how to do all this. Even when you tell me to check on a certain thing on the, I get confused because I'm an elderly person. I'm not brought up in this computer age, but I support everything you're doing, and we love you. And God bless our country and everything He's been doing for us.
Well, thank you for the call. I definitely appreciate you.
Thank you, ABL. And you have a good night.
Same to you now. All right. Shout out to the caller. I most certainly appreciate him. I see Taz in the comments trolling, talking about black conservatives don't have anything to offer to the black community. We're not good communicators. I mean, here's the thing about that. What does the liberal have to offer you? You know, we have a lot to offer. Gun rights, you know, to not kill yourself on the abortion table, to be away from the whole LGBTQIA indoctrination. You know, you don't want to have your kids be in kindergarten and then they get introduced to a transgender person with their penis out. Your little girl's 5 years old coming home crying, talking about she saw a penis for the first time. I mean, that's really going on. I'm not exaggerating. You understand what I'm saying? So we are protecting people in a cultural sense, financial sense, the taxes. Oh my goodness, the taxes. Like, if we don't have anything to offer, then why are all these black folks coming from the liberal places in which they seem to love so much because they vote for liberal people? Why are they leaving those places in the north? Philadelphia, New York, or even on the left coast, LA, San Francisco, Midwest, Chicago, you know, Detroit. Why are they leaving those places and coming down to Atlanta, North Carolina, Texas? They come in the red states. Why? Because they know that it's better for them there. We have a lot to offer. What does a black liberal have to offer? And why is it that people like Taz only criticize black conservatives but never the black liberal? If they criticize a black liberal, it's because a guy like me says you don't do it. And then you say, oh, I criticize them too. But it's never against them just in general. It's against us in general. You know, just stop being a hater and do something about yourself. You got your channel over there. You're trying to get some subscribers, get that growing, and then you can reach a lot of people as well. And then you won't be over here hating and trolling. But let me get to my next call. Alrighty, what's this? AJ, what's going on?
Hey man, long time.
It's been a long time, man. How's everything going?
Life is good. Wife is good. Can't complain. How about yourself?
Everything's great, man. Can't complain either.
Man, you gotta start screening some of these calls, man. You gotta get some of your bosses start screening some calls. It's starting to go off the deep end. I love you, brother, but damn. First question: you think BLS is going to be worth going to? Because I looked at the names and I don't see a lot of the big names, big conservative names that we saw last year that really kind of pulled the party together, you know?
Well, a couple of things about that. You're not going to see everything on the website right now because there could be some things that are still kind of in the work. So there may be some added later. And then beyond that, I don't know about anybody else. I speak for myself, but the biggest part of the event for me was the networking, meeting everybody. I mean, that was tremendous for me. So I don't know. It depends on where you're going there. For me, I'm going for the networking. Some of the events, of course, yes, but really just the networking. That's the biggest thing for me.
Gotcha. All right, well, I guess pivoting to politics, if Biden wins the Democratic nod, who do you think he takes as his running mate?
That's a very good question. He'll try to get somebody like he'll try to get either Pocahontas or Kamala Harris. He'll try Kamala Harris. Now I know Kamala Harris said, well, he could be a good vice president too. You know, I know she said that, but then when it comes down to actually, time to nominate somebody, I think he'll try to get a Kamala Harris, or he could reach outside. He can get old girl from Georgia, Stacey Abrams.
Okay, yeah, I'll leave that. I'll leave that. That's about as likely as a Jay-Z Kanye ticket happening on the DNC.
Hey, man, I've seen some crazy things, man. You never know what's going to go on.
Right, it still is very, very early.
Right.
But I asked that question because with the debate last week, a lot of conservatives and conservative podcasters and whatnot are saying are getting nervous about the momentum that Biden has, and I think that they are all full of it to an extent. I think that if almost on both, whatever angle you want to look at it, I think that Trump is a prohibitive favorite to win re-election. If you're on the left and you think that he colluded with Russia, then that's only a good thing as far as him getting reelected. Unfortunate or fortunate as that may be, if they aren't, then there is the obvious fracture on the left between the moderate or establishment Democrats and the progressive leftists, which is dividing the numbers. They can't win all of the guaranteed Democrat votes if the party is divided. And at the end of the day, people forget he's still the incumbent, and he pretty much gets a lot of automatic votes just by virtue of the fact that he's in there. It could be anybody in office. If you're the sitting president, you're automatically going to get some basis points in your favor. It's just like having a home court advantage in football or basketball or any sport. So to those conservatives that are nervous, as long as you vote and you get your friends to vote, I don't think there's really anything to worry about. If I was a betting man, I'll be betting on the Republican Party in 2020.
I agree with you. I think you're right on point with everything you said there.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it. That's my rant for the week. I'm still deciding whether I'm going to go. I'm leaning towards going. I've seen some cheap plane tickets, but if I do, I'll hit you up on Instagram.
Hey, they put out an email. I don't know if you got it, but there's an email that came from them that says that they have subsidized adult rooms available, but you might have to bring with somebody, up to 3 people potentially. But hey, it's an option if you want it. It's an option.
I don't know about that. I might just get my own. I'm a grown ass man. I might get my own spot.
There you
go. But we'll see.
All right, man. Thank you for the call, though. Appreciate you.
Yep. See you.
All right, now. All right. Shout out to my man AJ for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Do not be afraid to call. Somebody in the chat said that I lied. Lied about what? Me? Lie? Never. But let me go ahead and get to my next call here. Hold on. Let's go. 828, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi there. This is Janie from North Carolina. How are you?
Everything is great. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. I just want to comment on something I saw on Fox today, that Mayor de Blasio had banned flavored vape juices in New York.
Yes.
Which ended up shutting down 700 stores and putting thousands of people out of their jobs. And yep, that's why. They've had only 7 people out of 360 billion people in the U.S. that have died from complications they think from vaping.
Mm-hmm.
Or is it just to keep the teens from getting their flavored juices? Or the cigarette companies who are fighting back because they have lost a lot of revenue since all the vape things come out. But I look at it like this, alcohol kills people every day. It ruins their livers, their minds, and abuse happens and all sorts of crazy things from drinking. But, I don't see why the people of New York would not have something like that on their ballot to vote upon. or some way to regulate it as you do in alcohol. No ID, no vape. I don't think that, I don't think the people that are vaping to quit smoking will probably go back to smoking. The teens that was vaping, they'll find somebody to buy cigarettes, but they put a lot of people out of work. And I thought, you know what? I think Mayor de Blasio needs to be focusing on the homeless and vets in the city. The opium epidemic that's running rampant. The worst is human trafficking and child abuse. And the most important thing is they need to be focusing on backing his own NYPD that's being abused by little thugs running and putting stuff on them. But I want to say that I really think a whole lot of the lady that was on that's trying to help the vets and the homeless, and I think it's a darn shame that the United States would put an illegal immigrant in line to receive any benefit whatsoever before you put our vets in that line.
That's right.
It's appalling. And, I hope that all the voters out there have to look at this. I don't know, there's been many rapes of children in Baltimore, Maryland, and it's a sanctuary city. There's just so much crime, traffic, and drugs that come from these illegals that I don't understand why, as a country, we can't come together and help our vets. That's my rant for today. I appreciate all you do. Thanks so much, ABL.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right. Great call. Shout out to her for the call. Most certainly appreciate her. All right. I got super chats. Shout out to my man, Terry. Thank you for the money, sir. He says, you have obviously never seen my content. I did full streams about them all, from Nathan Bedford Forrest to Robert Byrd. I cook quick ducking and these little goat emojis. That's his little nickname for himself, the goat. Thank you for the donation, man. Definitely appreciate you. I was talking about black liberals. You come in here talking about black conservatives this, black conservatives that. You don't say anything about black liberals. Like, I've never seen you use that particular phrase. I'm not going to watch your streams. I don't have time. But if I see you in the chat or something randomly, or on the stream that I might be watching randomly with somebody else, I never hear you say anything about black liberals this, black liberals that. You'll say black conservatives this, black conservatives that. I know I'm right, but thank you for your donation. Shout out to Nick Molnar, who said, thanks for what you do. Man, I appreciate your work. And thank you for your donation. Definitely appreciate you. Without you, it couldn't be no me. Thank you to Snapzilla Gorilla, who says, California just passed a law to force vaccinate children. Full authoritarian rule. Yeah, that's not good at all. Thank you for your donation. Definitely appreciate you. Shout out to Jerry Thanos, who says, Sticks and Stones, awesome. Real comedy is back. I forget what that was from, but that was Chappelle. That's Chappelle's special. Yeah, that was a really good special. Thank you for your donation. Definitely appreciate it. Let me get to the next call here. And let's go to vaccinate children. Call you on the line, 704. Who am I speaking to?
Yeah, this is Carl.
All righty. What's going on?
Hey, man, listen, I just wanted to ask ABL, when you look at Hank Johnson and Sheila Jackson Lee, how the hell can we get somebody like Candace Owens and Brandon Tatum to replace them? So my question was twofold. I wanted to ask them, what would be the steps that if they wanted to run in order for them to secure some type of congressional position, how they would run it, that it would get the support of the minority voters as well as conservative voters, white, black, whatever. And then my second question was kind of a canary in the coal mine, what his thoughts were on the general position of where black men as a majority and white men are quickly catching up, saying that women today, be it black, white, Asian, whatever, are not worth marrying, and how can we correct that so we can prevent illegal immigration that's taking place?
Okay, that's a lot there. But first, before I answer, I got a little bit of feedback in the background. Can you turn the speakers down for me?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I had ABL in the background. I apologize. So yeah,
it's all good. Well, I'm here right now. This is ABL speaking. But I still got that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, yeah.
It's all good though. But I think I still got a little bit of feedback in the background. I'm hearing some sounds.
You know what? I'll take you off of speaker. How's that?
Okay, that probably is better. Now,
good.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So there's a lot there. To replace Sheila Jackson Lee and these other people. Oh man, Hank Johnson is going to be hard because look at their district. You know, that's the main thing that keeps them in power. These districts are so solid blue, it'd almost be impossible to really change it. To change the people that are in there that are in office, you got to change the makeup of the district or the mind state at least. And a lot of people you're not going to be able to change. If you get elderly people that's been there for a long time, they're 70, 80, 90 years old, still voting, and they vote for the Democratic Party, you're not going to be able to change that. You know, this whole thing here about old dog, new tricks, you can't really change it. So the best you can do is just try to go to a place where you will be accepted. And also, beyond that, beyond just trying to get elected, just try to change the future of the country. The older people are pretty much going to be set in their ways, but the younger people...
No. Yeah, you're right.
You got to change them because that's going to be the future. You see, right now, you got a little issue with demographics. You got, a lot of illegal aliens coming in. They're replacing they're reproducing like popcorn, like rats and rabbits. It's just, 4 and 5 birth rate. Meanwhile, American citizens birth rate below replacement. So at a certain point, people that are coming here illegally that may get amnesty or whatever through a future president are just reproducing constantly. You can't stop it. They're going to be the ones that vote. So you got to be able to reach the youth and get them to vote the right way. And also to stop all this illegal immigration, get their wall built up so we don't just get totally replaced to the point where our vote doesn't even matter anyway.
Correct. I'm just, I'm wondering, I'm obviously I'm a white guy, but I love Brandon Tatum and Candace Owens. And I'm like, if anybody can connect, those folks can hopefully break through the whole racial paradigm of because of the color of your skin, I'm not going to, I'm going to discount you. Or if you're an older, white person, and I get it. I mean, I'm suspect of most politicians that are older, whether or not they're black, white, they want to retain their power. But how do we break through to get the younger generation to realize that what they've been sold and what has kept them on that plantation, and the majority of people that are on the plantation are white. And yet nobody wants to talk about government entitlements and why that's going to only increase if we continue to allow a female genocentric society that will grant privileges over freedom. And the only way in which to keep that in check is basically to allow illegals in here that are breeding or are bringing in more people, because our black and white population isn't. I mean, and that goes into a deeper issue of, the whole MGTOW movement, feminism, third, fourth wave feminism. By the way, I will have to say, I would love if you had Karen Strawn on your radio show.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. I like her a lot. I like what she does. Yeah, she's really good. I like to have her on the show for sure. But you're hitting it pretty much on the head. The female-led households, I mean, they're tearing us to pieces. And then the family court laws are also bad, because you got a couple of things here. You got some people that are just having these kids out of wedlock totally. There's no thought of even having the father at all. And the father may just abandon the family, whatever, that's going on. But you also have the dads that want to be there, the dads that love their kids, the dads that want to raise their children, that are being prevented from being able to do so by the mother and also the court. It's the mom and the court together to keeping the father away from the kids. So you got dads that you got guys, you have dads that don't want to be there, and then dads that do, that are prevented. So that's causing a really serious problem.
Anthony, did you see that latest release? It was on Fox News. It was talking about, and I can't think of the name of the organization, but they rank states based on, in other countries, it's automatically assumed 50-50 joint custody. There's no question. And this organization, I'll have to go and look it up here. I might super chat it to you. But they basically they're rating states and saying that overall we're at a C-, meaning that men don't have the right in which to have equal custody of their kids, but yet they will be expected to pay for it. And I would love if you had somebody on there that talked about debtor's prison that was abolished back in the 1800s, except for fathers that aren't paying child support 93% of the time. That's their obligation.
Correct.
Anyway, I just, Candace Owens, I would love for her to have a debate with like Nancy Pelosi or Elizabeth Warren or any of these liberals, and just have her eviscerate them. And but I guess my question is that and I know that you see race is just melanin in your skin. It really, it's more socioeconomics, political belief, moral beliefs, or whatever. But we seem as a country to be gender focused or ideological focused. And I want to know, how can we reach out to the African American community to go, wake up? If this is if our society requires a woman to be president, let's make sure that it's not an ideological woman, but a woman that has conservative values, that represents all genders, or men and women, and a conservative belief in which that there should be limited government. And that's why I'd be like, Candace Owens, I would vote for you for first female president. Brandon Tatum, you can be the vice president. I don't care if it flip-flops, but I guess I'm like conflicted with how do you break through? And you're right, like the older generation, they're lost on both sides.
Yeah.
Conservative or Democrat. How do you break through that bias just because of the color of their skin on both sides?
Yeah, I'm with you. Like, I'm gonna say this and then we get to the next cause. I got a lot of calls on the line. But the main thing you got to get to the younger generation. I'm seeing a lot of encouraging things lately. You got youngsters, middle school, high school, they're calling the show. They're writing me physical letters in the mail talking about how, they watch me every day. They like what I'm talking about. They're really interested in conservative politics. And when I was that age, I didn't really know a lot about politics. But the kids nowadays are becoming interested and they're more aware.
Good.
And they're also more likely to explore it on their own rather than being guided by the adults in their life, man. But thank you for your call. I definitely appreciate you.
All right. Hey, ABL, keep up the good work, because there's few and far between you guys to get the message out. So I appreciate everything that you're doing.
All right, thank you. I appreciate you.
All right. Take care, man.
All right. Thanks to my man for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. Hey, you guys talking about Hodge twins. Hey, I love the Hodge twins. They're going to be at the Black Leadership Summit in Washington, D.C., which I'll also be at, and that will be from October the 3rd through the 5th. So hopefully I get to get some video content with them guys, and we can get something really rocking and rolling. Shout out to the Hodge twins. Love them. All righty. Let me get to my next call here. All righty, Jordan, what's happening?
Nothing much, ABL. How about you?
Everything is good, man. Can't complain.
Hey, I think there's breaking news. I don't know if this was discussed on your show, but Justin Trudeau was caught in brownface.
Yeah, I saw that right before I came on the show. I saw that, and it's like, all right, how is media going to handle this? Are they going to just try to put it under the rug like they did with Ralph Northam from Virginia, or are they really going to get into it? I think it'll be up under the rug. They're not really going to do too much about this whole situation.
I think I agree. He apologized from it, and then that's kind of about it. He looked pretty. He looked like those 1950s blackfacing movies where you put the full black on and you have like a turban on. That it looks hilarious.
Yeah, pretty much.
It was the Arabian Nights party. That's funny.
Oh yeah.
But they're gonna treat it like the Ed Buck story now. I noticed that CNN isn't talking about it.
Oh no. They ain't gonna touch it with a 10-foot pole. They ain't gonna talk about that because and at this particular point in time, it's pretty clear what's going on. It's clear, like they don't want to talk about things that are gonna affect them negatively to make their party look bad. They don't want to talk about it. They rather just ignore it like it's not even there.
Yeah, they've switched their gears to this school shooting PSA that's been going around lately. They've concentrated on that, which is weird, but I know it's to send a propaganda, but they've been focusing on that as opposed to the whole Ed Buck story.
That's right.
So,
That's right.
yeah.
Yeah.
But also with the climate change protest thing, yeah, I noticed this girl, Greta, was that her name?
Yeah, Greta.
Greta, she's been around lately. I knew her before. I knew about her because she's been appearing in Swedish media before this whole protest.
Okay.
And I had to wonder. Yeah, she was on like the like a Time cover. I can't remember, but I feel like she's been treated like David Hogg and those people during the school shooting, except with climate change instead. That people are just gonna prop her up, and then maybe she'll just go away after a while because somebody like David Hogg is now a remnant of people's heads. He's a meme now. He's nothing more than that.
Right.
But I really hate how this climate change debate is going. These kids, instead of skipping class, they could just maybe, I mean, if they're really so concerned about it, they could, go to class so they can work in STEM fields to build technologies to stop carbon emissions from coming in the air. If they're really that invested in it, or space exploration, that type of stuff, instead of just going outside and protesting. Because really, whatever carbon emissions, because keep in mind, we also breathe in and out. We breathe in oxygen and we breathe out carbon dioxide. That also contributes to the carbon emissions in the ozone layer. And I don't know how they want us to avoid that, stop breathing, and we all just, die.
Yeah, no more breathing. Breathing is now prohibited.
Yeah. But they could really, if they really were invested in this, because it's going to take like thousands and thousands of years before any dangerous effects come of any sort of carbon emissions in the atmosphere. But they could, instead of protesting, actually build things and try to get that settled if they were really invested in it, as opposed to doing what AOC wants to do and going in everybody's private property and trying to fix all sorts of stuff. It's just going so poorly. And this, I used to think protests were something that were productive, but now it just seems like it's just people's venting and getting attention instead. It just sucks.
Right. It does. It really does.
Because I would be interested in having like a climate change debate. The problem is I fear that it's just going to be sideswept in favor of just saying the same old talking points that have been said over and over again. It's just, I feel like you're not going to get anywhere with it at this point because it's a straw man to begin with. It's not like people don't believe in climate science. They probably do. But the idea is, why should we worry about that when it's going to take a long ass time for anything to happen?
Well, I mean, the thing about climate change is just all over the place. I mean, first, back in the 70s, it was global cooling. Then it became global warming. Now it's simply climate change because it can't settle on if the earth is getting colder or warmer. So anytime there's any kind of, abnormal event weather-wise, they'll say, oh, that's climate change. They can't just say, oh, global cooling. It could be a heat wave. They can't say global cooling. It could be a very cold wave, a cold snap, with a lot of snow and a blizzard. They can't say global warming. So now it's just anytime there's something that looks kind of weird, it's climate change. It's just, what it is an industry to make a lot of money on. Al Gore, he's the patron saint of climate change, and now
look, he has like an outdoor pool and all that stuff.
The CO2, emission by his estate is just absurd. But hey, it doesn't really matter. He could still be the patron saint of climate change because he's pretty much anointed himself that.
Yeah, I mean, it just sucks. I think my last note before I go would be, have you seen you've talked about Malik Yoba, yeah?
I have, but I didn't do a video about him, but I have spoken about him.
Have you seen the debate between him and Judge Joe Brown?
No, I heard about that. I saw some of Lucas's video where he was reacting to it, but I've not seen the debate. Now, where was it? Was it online somewhere? Where was the debate actually?
Well, it was on a podcast with the woman you can look it up, but it was with a woman. It was like sort of a three-way between a woman, whose name I can't mention, but you can look it up on YouTube and you'll find out pretty easily. Her, Joe Brown, and Malik Yoba called in. And was called in, one of those two. And Joe pretty much kind of wrecked him to the point where he hung up the phone. And at that, because it was clear he didn't want to have this conversation with somebody who about his antics to somebody who is willing to challenge him on the subject. And they were both pretty angry about it, Joe and the woman. One of the interesting things he points out, and you'll hear it if you end up hearing the podcast, is that, in the 50s, you had the whole, what he would term white propaganda, which is like blonde hair, blue eyes everywhere you go in advertisements and such.
Right.
And Malik Yoba was doing the same thing, but with transgender people instead. And he also called it, in a world where the black family is dysfunctional and disorganized and virtually non-existent most of the time, this whole propaganda of transgenderism and love and having intimate relationships with transgender people just adds on to that. And I thought that was a very interesting point Joe made, regardless of what you think of him. But I don't think Malik was wanting to hear any of it.
Malik, I don't know what he's doing. He's going on this whole this media tour. It's like, for what though? To say that you're gay? I mean, if you want to say you're gay, just come out and say it, Malik. Like, ain't nobody gonna judge you at this particular point in time for being gay. However, if you a chomo, if you out here touching little boys that dress as women, now we got a whole different kind of problem on our hands. Now you got to go to jail for that. So if you're trying to cover up the illegal stuff with this, then that ain't really the way to go about it, man. Just go ahead and go down to the police station, turn yourself in, and get the whole thing over with that way.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, instead of doing this charade, it's just funny seeing him doing all this, basically being demasculinized by these activists who are trying to lecture him on the struggles of transgenderism and whatever that nonsense. But I'm going to hang up now, lay down. I'll catch you later, ABL.
All right. Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Peace.
Peace. All right. Thank you to my man Jordan for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. Hey, I got to show you guys the if you've not seen the picture of Justin Trudeau in his blackface, they calling it brown face. So they're already trying to downplay it, but that ain't nothing new. You pretty much got to expect that from the lamestream old school media. But let's check it out right quick before we get to the next call. And the number to call is 434-658-1220. Hold on right quick. Let me see if I can go ahead and get it on up. There we go. Boom. Okay. So that's Trudeau right there. Now, the headline's kind of cut off right here, but I need to just kind of have it close so you can see him. Matter of fact, can I zoom in? Yeah, there we go. Okay. So the headline says, Justin Trudeau wore brown face at a 2001 Arabian Nights party while he taught at a private school. So this is a school party. So they're at the school having this particular function, event, whatever it's called. And he decided that not only would he wear the Arabian Nights little get up, but he will also do the blackface. And not only does he have blackface, if you can see his hand right here, he has on black paint on his hand. Now, they're trying to say it's brown face, and this could technically be brown, but it looks black to me. Now, you're going to see the media pretty much ignore it. They're going to talk about it for a little while. 24 to 48, they'll talk about it, but after that, they'll just leave it alone because they don't want to put their own guy up under the bus. If it were, let's say, a Sean Spicer, anybody affiliated with the Trump campaign at all, it could have been somebody just getting coffee. They would say, oh, it's a Trump affiliated person. They wore blackface 18 years ago, which this was 2001. Their racist, cancel them right now. But Justin Trudeau, head of state, Canada, not big deal. Leave it alone. That's how the leftist media operates. But let me get to my next call. 416 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
It's Cigar Box.
Cigar Box, what's happening?
I'm just looking at my fool of a prime minister.
Oh man. So you seen the pictures? Like when you saw that, were you surprised?
No, he's a tool. I mean, he's always talking about respecting cultures and that. And he went over to India and dressed up in their garb and everything, and he's an idiot. The guy. But I wanted to talk about guns, and I see them all screaming, "We got to get these assault rifles off the streets," right?
Mm-hmm.
And then if you look, I think you mentioned that most of the shootings are done by pistols, right? Handguns.
That's correct.
That's what they're really after, I think, because what they'll do is they'll say, well, we got all the assault rifles off the street and we still have the same amount of mass shootings, so naturally we have to take the handguns. What do you think about that?
Well, that's the next step. That's the next step because, they keep saying these little buzzwords, kind of like dog whistles. I hear them loud and clear. They're talking about, semi-automatic. Okay, what is a semi-automatic weapon? Pretty much all weapons that are on the market, unless you have a pump-action shotgun, a flint-action a pistol, or a bolt-action rifle, you have a semi-automatic weapon. If it's magazine-fed, semi-automatic. So they're going to go after all semi-autos, which include most handguns.
Yeah, well, I think I think that's what they're aiming for. They don't give a crap about the assault rifle. That's their step. Once they can get that, and then they'll just say, well, hasn't made us a dent in the mass shooting, so give up those handguns. I think that's what they're after.
Pretty much.
And I was always wondering why they never went after these Antifa morons. Never did a damn thing when they were beating the crap out of people and stuff. And I just felt that they were hoping, honest to God, hoping that somebody on the right would say, we've had enough, and plug one of these idiots. And then they could freak out about the weird Trump, right wingers who are going out there shooting people up, even though it might be like one moron who's out there bike locking somebody to death or something. Like, do you think that they would? I can't see any other reason why the cops would just stand there and watch them beating people and not do anything about it.
I mean, it's a lot that I could say. I mean, I guess the main thing would be what the people would say if you really approach them, meaning like the higher ups and like the police chief or something. They'll try to say they're not trying to antagonize the situation. They want to keep hands off. But I think what's going on is they think of Antifa as like the freedom fighters, those that are fighting against the Nazis, quote unquote. That's what it is. They see them as that. Matter of fact, Ted Wheeler, mayor of Portland, Oregon, pretty much said it on television. He was like, well, look, we don't want to have any kind of white supremacist, neo-Nazi, KKK, or anything like that come to our city and, start violence. But then when the person, it was on Fox News, when the person asked about Antifa, then it became, oh, I don't care about your party affiliation. We can't have any kind of violence. Wait a minute. You don't care about party affiliation. You don't care about who you are. We just don't want any violence. But then when it came to naming white supremacists and KKK and whatnot, you had no problem doing that. So it's pretty much clear where they think the violence is coming from and where it's not coming from.
Yeah, that's for sure. These guys aren't freedom fighters. They just want to go out and cause crap. There's nobody there with any ideals. None of those morons. They're just a bunch of, basically, they're like the soccer hooligans that you would find over in England. They just want to go out and cause trouble.
That's right.
Well, thanks for the time, and great show as usual. I'll talk to you some other time. Thanks a lot, Anthony. Bye.
All right, thank you now. All right, shout out to my man Cigar Box. I definitely appreciate the call. And you guys on the drill, the number to call is 434-658-1220. Let me get to my next call. 646 on the line. Who am I speaking to? 646. 646. Going once. Going twice. All right. I get new callers sometimes. They don't really understand how to, it's okay. I understand. But if you are calling in, you have to keep your ear to the phone. So when I pick up, you can be prepared. And you cannot look at the stream. The stream is on a delay. So if you try to call in and then talk to the stream, you're not going to be able to do it. You have to turn the stream off pretty much and just talk to me on the phone that way. Alrighty. So that'd be that. But, thank you all for super chatting. I definitely appreciate you guys. Thank you to Mandatory Carry who says, keep fighting. Hey, will do. And thank you for your donation. Definitely appreciate you. Shout out to Omar Adams who says, corn pop with the emojis to go with it. Was a bad dude. He ran some bad boys. Thank you for that, man. Definitely appreciate you. Shout out to Sleepy Creepy Creep Veep Joe Biden for that entertaining story. Thank you to Conchara Bello who says, what do you think of Saudi attacks? POTUS and VP said U.S. is locked and loaded for our allies and interests. Came out of left field to me. Who gains? Peace. Now, the thing about the Saudi attack is that you're talking about not just Saudi Arabia, but the whole world. Because if you attack Saudi oil supply, like most of the world's oil comes from, like most of the supply in the world comes from Saudi. So if you attack Saudi, you attacking the whole world. You're disrupting the economy of the entire world. So that can be a problem. It ain't just about Saudi. If it was about Saudi, then I don't think we would really, if Saudi didn't have a lot of the world's interests right there, then it wouldn't really be, a serious issue. What I think is that you want to resort to more diplomatic means of being able to solve this and get it done that way. I don't think we want to go to the whole war part of it. But yeah, it ain't just about them or trying to get into a war. It's about trying to protect the entire economy. If the world's economy gets disrupted, we get disrupted as well. So it's kind of a proxy war going on right now, in my humble opinion, and we got to find a way to be able to solve it without going through a real, true war, which is what they may be trying to provoke over there in Iran or whatever. But thank you for that. Definitely appreciate you for your comment and your donation. Thank you to Cool Hoosier who says, how do you personally feel about the unions? That's a good question. Unions can be good, but they can also be bad. They can be abused. They can be disruptive. They can cause inflation in prices, or they can also help people, better fight for their rights in a particular company. They can be better organized. It's pros and cons, but I'm not really a fan of unions personally myself, but I'm not totally against them depending upon the situation. But thank you for your donation. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you to Deplorable D who says, thank you for what you do. Hey, thank you for your donation. Deplorable D, definitely appreciate you. Thank you to Julie Nelson who said, keep up the great work. Hey, I thank you for your donation. I definitely appreciate you. Shout out to G Carjala who says, still here, ABL, always will be. And I appreciate you for that. Let me get to my next call. Let's go. 253, you online. I'm a speaker too.
Socialist Speaks TV. Do you remember the last, I think it was, I'd say last Wednesday, I talked to you on your show, answered by Logan?
Okay.
I want to talk about the Revolt Summit and about Candace Owens and T.I., whoever he might be.
Right, I got you.
I've seen the movie before. Let me get back to my topic.
All right, go for it. So what's on your mind about that? How do you feel about the whole the conference thing?
I like what Candace Owens was saying, but I wasn't really too sure about T.I.
No, I didn't quite hear that. Say that one more time for me, please.
I said I liked what Candace Owens said, but I'm not really sure if I like what T.I. or Killer Mike said.
Gotcha. I got you. Now, how do you feel about the way T.I. was speaking? Not just what he said, but the way he was speaking, like the over talking and stuff like that. Was that a problem?
Yes, because he was being disrespectful to Candace Owens, and you shouldn't disrespect anybody, especially when she was trying to get something in the conversation.
That's right. That's right. You gotta be respectful. You know, you can disagree, and that's fine, but always have respect.
Yeah. So I watched a video about when was America ever great for blacks. I was wondering, why did you name your video with that particular title?
Well, because that was a question I kept getting asked in the comments, because that was one of the main things. That was the whole thing about the clip that went viral from Candace Owens and T.I., because T.I. was asking her and not allowing her to answer, when was America ever great for blacks? You know, and people were saying that she didn't answer and she couldn't answer, but the reality is she was trying to answer but kept getting cut off when she would get to her point. So I wanted to make a video referencing that particular point and also giving my opinion about when America was great for blacks to answer T.I.'s question.
Yeah. I want to give you my idea on when was America ever great for so-called blacks, because first one of my questions were, everybody uses the word black. I think I don't think person, because black is a nationality in the first place, and when you look at the word black, it has all kinds of meanings. It shouldn't apply to anybody, especially with a so-called black woman or man or child.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. I was wondering who created that term. Whose idea was it to start calling so-called African Americans and black, colored, and Negro? Like, whose idea was that?
Hey, you know, that's a good question.
Yeah, because nobody ever asks those questions.
That's true.
I know. So anyway, I think Killer Mike, he was pretty much saying like most of what Candace Owens was saying, but the difference between what he was saying and what she was saying, that people liked what he was saying, but when Candace Owens started talking, people started booing her.
That's right. It's a big time double standard. It's like, you know, if it makes sense when Candace Owens says it, it's got to make sense all the time. It just can't make sense some of the time.
Yeah. Because that's real Killer Mike. I was wondering why did he side with Bernie Sanders and his Bernie Sanders hat.
You said what now?
I said, why did Killer Mike like Bernie Sanders, but yet he was saying some of what Candace Owens was saying?
It's kind of confusing as far as Killer Mike is concerned, because you're right. He does support Bernie Sanders. He's out on the campaign trail with him, and Bernie Sanders is definitely not a conservative at all. There's no conservative talking points there. He's really, really far left, in my humble opinion. So I don't know how you go from supporting Bernie Sanders to at the same time supporting some things that Candace Owens said. It seems pretty strange, because, you know, if Bernie were to become elected, I don't think most of the thing that Candace Owens would want will actually come into fruition, because Bernie Sanders would be against it. So that's a good question. I can't really call it.
Yeah. Hey Anthony, did you hear about this man named Bryson Gray? I think he wore a really large Make America Great Again hat at one of Trump's rallies. I'm not sure which one. But I saw a video which he was wearing the Trump rally, and everyone was interviewing him, asking him why would he wear a big Trump hat.
Yeah. I saw Bryson do that. That was very good. I'm proud of him for doing it. And he also has this whole MAGA challenge going on, where you got guys that are rapping about MAGA and they're putting it on social media. So I like what he's doing.
Yeah. Because like, why do people think the Make America Great Again hat? I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Well, I would like to wear one, but I can't wear one.
Right, I'm with you. I mean, I think it's a good thing for people to wear. Sometimes it depends upon where you live. It cannot. It might be kind of weird. Living in a city area where it's not really accepted. But I think everybody should be able to wear it. But hey, I don't mean to cut you right here, but I got a lot of calls on the line. I thank you for calling in to the show. And you still have your channel, yes?
Yeah, I have my channel. It has different profile pictures, but still the same name because my old channel is going to be deleted.
Okay, so what is your new channel?
Socialist TV.
All right. Now, how do I spell that? Because I can't see it right now in front of me. It's like Sahara Desert.
What?
How do I spell your channel name?
Can you plug my channel?
Yes. Like, how do I? Matter of fact, put your channel in the chat box, and then people can go to it from there. So just put the name on the channel. Don't put the link because the link can't go. Put the name of the channel in the box. People can go to it from there.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for letting me on your show, and goodbye.
All right. Thank you for the call.
Bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Yes, the caller is like, what, 11 or 12? Yeah, very young caller. So shout out to the caller. And that's what I was talking about earlier. The very young people coming in, calling the show, letting me know what's going on. I really appreciate that. And I guess she'll put her channel in the chat box so you guys can go to it. All right. So let me go get to my next call here. And let's do 646 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, how you doing, Anthony? Hey, it's Patrick from Brooklyn.
All right, Patrick, what's happening?
Nothing much, man. I just catch a little bit of that kid calling in from before, and I saw part of that interview, and man, Killer Mike was just obnoxious, man. Candace Owens is the bomb, beautiful young lady, great ideals, and they didn't let her get a word in edgewise. It was really disgusting.
Yeah, it was.
But
It
the
was
reason I'm
terrible.
calling,
But go ahead.
it was out of line, totally out of line. What was more disconcerting was the audience reaction. All cheering and clapping and screaming for him. Like, I know they're fans and all that, but you didn't want to hear another idea. That's not good. But the reason I'm calling is you touched earlier on this Antifa stuff going on. Now, I've been a fan of Caitlin Bennett, InfoWars. You watch her at all?
I'm familiar with her. Yeah, I think she does this stuff like on college campuses and whatnot.
Yeah, they call her the Gun Girl in Kent State University.
yeah, I've seen her.
But when she first started doing her podcast, which is very entertaining, she basically just tries to expose the crazy liberals. Not trying to convert nobody, just trying to expose them for what they are, which is good. We need that. We need conversions, but we also need to expose them for how crazy they can be. In the beginning, she used to support the police big time. Support the cops. And all this other nonsense. And I'm not anti-cop. I'm pro-cop. I'm pro-law enforcement to a degree. But as time went by, you could see how the cops weren't protecting her when she's being attacked by these Antifa thugs. They hit her all the time, spit on her door, call all kinds of names, and they would never defend her. And it was nice to see her finally step up and start calling them on the carpet. Saying, we support you and you don't support us, and how about return the favor, And it was like an awakening happening right before people who follow her. Now, I think, my personal opinion, just my opinion, but I think the local municipalities that hire these cops, because we were discussing earlier why they like that, why don't they step in and help these people when they're attacking, when Antifa's going crazy. I think they seek these people out through the psychological testing in the local cities. I think they look for certain individuals with certain personality traits through the psychological evaluation. When you take a test to be a police officer in a big city, I live in New York City, you have to take a psych test. And they formulate the question in such a way they expose your personality type. I think they look for these people to either go on power trips or they suffer from the punch around the schoolyard syndrome, where they just got bullied their whole life and looking to get even with the world. Because if you look at these cops, they just stand there and watch as people get beat up. And it's terrifying for the average citizen in this country to see this. You're afraid to go out there and open your mouth. A lot of people are terrified. And I experienced it in Manhattan when I went to one of these vagina hat rallies they had about a year ago. And And, they would jump up and down going crazy on me because I was wearing a MAGA hat. Throw them crazy, and the cops didn't do nothing. And it started to get physical. I had to actually leave. I was afraid I was going to get into with these people, and I was not going to be defended in any way by the police. So anyway, man, that's all I wanted to talk to you. It's a thing that needs to be addressed. People in this country got to get together and figure out something with this law enforcement, because I know a lot of people think that the cops are always on picking on just minorities. That's not the truth, man. They bother everybody. They bother everybody, and they don't protect anybody. And it's a real problem in this country, man. What are your thoughts on it?
I don't know. I think that you got some imperfections that are going on out there, but I think generally the police are good. But it doesn't mean that, people can be perfect. That's pretty much how I feel. Now, as far as Caitlin Bennett not being protected, I mean, at a certain point, it's like, is it the police officer's fault, or is it the higher ups? Is it the police chief, the mayor? Is some political stuff going on? That's pretty much what I would have to ask, because at a certain point, if the police don't have the backing of their higher ups, then how can they really go out there and do their jobs correctly? A lot of officers are frustrated because they are, pardon the pun, handcuffed, and they can't do their job appropriately. So, sometimes it's not even their fault. They're just they have constraints they got to work within, and if they don't, then they're not going to be able to be there to protect people regardless of what, because they're not following the script. So I think it's more of a higher up thing in a lot of these cases.
Yeah, I can agree to that to a point, but as a man, and you're a man yourself, if you're standing there and you have the ability to protect somebody who's being attacked, regardless of what your bosses say, you're going to step in.
Yeah, but see, the point that I made was, if you do that, now you're fired, so it doesn't even really matter. You're not going to be able to do that anymore. So you see what I'm saying? So, and then at that point, now you're going to not have the good guys there that you want. Now you're going to get the bottom of the barrel. So even if, like, you're going to be in a bad situation if the higher ups don't allow you to go out there and do your job properly. You're not going to get good people to come in there, and you won't be able to have good results out there in the field. That's generally how that goes.
Yeah, that's true, but I disagree with one point. The unions are really strong, and it's not easy to just fire a cop from any one of these cities. It's a long, arduous process, and I'm just saying if more of the line cops, and I agree with what you're saying to a point, I thought about that as well, but if more of the line cops just said, you know what, we can't let this go on. The people are watching this. You got social media now, and it's not just our channels. You see it all over the place. I don't know if you're familiar with First Amendment audits, Second Amendment audits. These people are out there doing, and it exposes a lot of corruption. I mean, it's something that we need to really, really look at. Well, anyway, man, I know you got a lot of callers. I appreciate your time, and you've been a big fan, man. I chimed in when there's like 10,000 subscribers, man. Been watching you for a long time. The channel's come a long way. Congratulations. You're doing really well.
Thank you for that, man. Thank you for the call as well. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, man. Appreciate you too, Brian. Take care.
All right, peace. All right. Shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him. I got to get ready to go in a little bit. I thank you all for joining me. I definitely appreciate you. You guys have been great tonight. And shout out to my first callers from the American Priority Festival and Conference that'll be in Miami, Florida from October the 10th through the 12th. I will be there, as well as many others. All right, let me get to my last call here. I gotta leave a little bit early. I'm dying of thirst right now. I gotta go ahead and bounce just a little bit early. But let me get to my last call here. 203 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Kevin, how are you?
Everything's great, man. Can't complain.
I have a question for you. I watch a lot of YouTube videos. I was watching that Revolt. It was crazy. The thing is that I also watched another video. I was wondering, do you know a guy named Roland S. Martin?
Yeah, I know who he is. Yeah.
Well, I was watching his video, and he was talking about how he was talking about specifically like he knows a lot of real conservative black men that actually stand up for the black community and try to push bills passed to help them out. that he was talking about that, like, Candace Owens and like another person was like they were more of like a, I wouldn't say fraud, but they were more like it's more like show for them. Like they're more about getting the money than actually helping out the cause. I was wondering, what do you think about that?
Well, Rollo Martin is a funny person because I know him. Like I've met him before. I was on the show before, and I saw him last year at the Black Leadership Summit. Pardon me. I saw him last year there, and he was dying to get Candace Owens on his show for a debate. He wanted that real bad, and she didn't want anything to do with him. She was not trying to talk to him. So ever since then, he's been kind of upset, and now he wants to go and say, oh, well, you know, you shouldn't talk to her. It's just all a game. But just not even 12 months ago, you wanted her on your show to have a debate. So which one is it? Either she's not suitable for a debate because all about a game was all about a show, or you want her on your show for a debate, and the show, I guess, doesn't really make a difference there, even though you have a show you're trying to put on and get people to watch. He's a funny guy. And then the thing about it, when I was on this show, he was trying to be like, he was trying to emulate Tucker Carlson, you know, the whole style of, you know, kind of the confrontational interviewing. He was trying to do that. So he was trying to save his failing show, which has been canceled, by the way. He's on YouTube with us. He was on TV. When I was on that show, he was trying to like put on a show for the camera to keep his show afloat. So he's a hypocrite and a liar on top of that.
Yeah, I figured that. I kind of like figured that because like then he had like, I guess if you notice, like he has like, he'll do his little monologue, right? And then all of a sudden he'll have like three people on his panel, and like each and every one of them agree with what he's saying.
Yeah, pretty much. He has a bunch of yes men and women on there that are pretty much just back up whatever he says. It's never going to be opposition because that ain't the point of his show.
Yeah, and the thing was is that he brought up like all these policies that Trump had, and like they always talk about how like every time they talk about like Trump, how Trump is for like the black community, they go about how like there's more blacks working now than Obama did, and like way before that too. But that right there basically will if he's going to use that argument, it's like basically dead in the water on arrival because it's a fact. It's not like propaganda like anyone else is spilling. It's actually a fact because I do my own research.
That's right.
So it's not like I watch the news. I watch the news and then all of a sudden they say something, and then boom, I'll just be like, all right, let me go and research on that because you know my people perish for a lack of knowledge. You know what I'm saying? And you can't go by everything you hear. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. And then like they go by like how America was never great for them. Yes, it was. They're just not doing their own research. They're basically flipping their own narrative. And then he was talking about that he had like one black conservative that he was talking to, and then like he was like in a caucus, and then like they had like this thing like he was in a Republican like chairman, you know, for like judicial chairman, and they had like this little convention for him, and no one wanted him to show up, but the only one that wanted to flip the bill was the MSDNC, which is MSNBC, which is MSNBC, you know, DC. Then you have CNN, which is like Communist Clown Network and Communist Network and all that. Then you have Washington Compost and the New York Slime, stuff like that.
That's right.
But it seems like you want to see. This is what I have a problem with. It's not I'm a man of like, you know, you can say what you want when you want to say it. All right, but if you're going to say it, have some facts that back up what you're saying. And how are you going to say that this country is not great? Okay, is a downright lie, because there's nowhere in any other country, all right, that you can have the rights we have here.
That's right. I'm with you right there, 100%. Well, hey, I thank you for the call. It's been a great one. I definitely appreciate you.
All right. But I still get a lot of info from. I still get like from time every day. I did subscribe to your Patriot Post, and I get that every single day.
Well, thank you, man. I really appreciate
And
that.
I have another one too that you might want. Maybe you ever heard about the what is that? The Harvard Institute or Hillsdale College?
I've not.
But Hillsdale College, you should look into that. They have free courses that you can take about like Constitution, about government, and everything. You can take free courses. You can even donate, some of your time, your money to it, or nothing like that.
Okay, I'll look into it for sure.
All right. Well, you have a good night, man.
All right, same to you now. Thank you for the
Keep
call.
up the good work, man.
All right now.
Stay encouraged.
All right, shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him. But I gotta go. I'm a little bit early, but I gotta get some water right now. Thank you all for being here. Most certainly appreciate you. Shout out to the moderators. You guys do a great job all the time. You guys know who you are. Elijah Jean, Michelle A, Ansel, Bill from the Hills, Shreeves, Protocol, the whole squad. Thank you for doing what you do all the time. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you to Black Bigot. that's his name. Now, I'm not being racist. Who says, be kind of rewind. Hey, thank you for that, man. I appreciate you. And I've seen you before on YouTube. Hey, shout out to you, man. Thank you for joining the show. And shout out to my man Hake from the Hake Report, who does Justice Lee Peterson's show. He was a producer over there. He was in the chat earlier. So shout out to you as well, man. I saw you in here. And shout out to everybody that was here. I appreciate you guys, but I got to go. And did I get everything? Super chats, moderators, last people. Yes, I got everybody. Thank y'all for being here. Please like the video, share the video. And if you are not subscribed already, please do so. Subscribe and click the bell right beside it so you get notified if I go live or post a new video. But that is all I got for now. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out. And peace.